we've got a 2-rig nor'easter, sunny skies, bit of a run-in tide, and a tight championship point score. We're just down here in the park. We're going to have a bit of a wander around, chat to the guys before we cross live to the camera cat. Bit of fever in the park. I've seen John Winning running around earlier. He's a bit nervous. He was checking the points. Basically, I think you've got, yeah, I'll pull it out. Got Asco on a total of 14 points. We've got Winning Group on 15 and the Kitchen Maker on 15. Bingley on 17 and Smeg on 18. So pretty tight considering there's 2 races. Most of them have all had their drop, so it could really be anyone's game at this stage between it. So we'll just have a wander around now. We'll go catch up with the Kitchen Maker, the young boys. Bill, when you don't, stand back here. Lads, meter from the camera. Here we are, 2 heats to go, live on Facebook. Are we Facebook or are we YouTube? I think we're live on YouTube anyway. What do you reckon? 2 races to go?
Yep, let's hope we can keep what we've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys just been chipping away, keeping it nice and clean and easy. It's good, really good to see. Have you made any changes to the boat since, you know, throughout the championships to build your speed, or you just sort of...
Oh, it's been a bit of gradual learning as we go.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
Couple of tweaks here and there,
yeah.
nothing major.
No, pretty happy with your rig setup. There's no changes that are going to come out of the blocks and be a bit faster again today?
No, I think we'll just try and be consistent and stay in the top 5 and we'll be happy, I think.
Yeah, totally. Well,
Yeah.
good luck with it and
Thank you.
keep rocking out.
Yeah,
No
cheers.
worries. Okay, we'll keep wandering around. Here's the consistent, the solid Team Smeg. Hey gents, how are we? Live
Give me
here
a little
on,
bit of Mark,
yeah,
just
no
jump
worries.
on here live, just a little bit, that's it. Beautiful.
So, same team again today, boys.
Same team, yeah. We've got the Mighty Coxon.
The Mighty Coxon, nice one.
Yeah, MC.
Yeah, so it's pretty tight there on the points.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I think we're just a little bit out of it, you know. We're just on the back end.
On the
of
cusp.
On the cusp, yeah, on the cusp. But no, we'll give it all our best today.
Yeah, beautiful day. What's the forecast today?
Nor'easter, you know, building from about 15 up to maybe 20 knots. So
Okay.
we'll see if it gets
That'd
there.
be
But
good. You
yeah,
guys
it should be nice conditions.
Yeah, you guys are the seasoned campaigners, so keep it upright, keep it fast. You should be in the top 5.
That's it. Keep it simple, I think, Marcus.
Yeah,
today.
yeah, that's it. Nice one. We'll probably be seeing you in Bradley's Head for the first cross.
Nice. Look forward to it.
No worries. Well done. Keep it
Cheers,
going.
mate.
Got the notes here. They're all off getting changed. We're all looking very relaxed over here at the Royal Oak. Hey Aaron.
Marcus,
How are you, mate?
keep your hands off it, mate.
That's good.
Good, hey? What do you reckon?
So a lot of you may not know, but Aaron Everett's a Qantas pilot. Flies the A380s. Today the flight path would be straight up the harbour, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it, hey, with this sea breeze kicking
Yeah,
in.
got one just
There
heading
we go.
over there now.
Yeah, right to the skies right there.
Yeah. How you finding it, mate? How's the boat?
Yeah, good. Hey, yeah, we got a new sponsor this year, Royal Oak, just up the road, the pub, and 4 Pines over in Manly.
That's good, yeah.
Which is great, and we got a new bow on this year as well. Unfortunately, our bow did his knee halfway through the season, so
Oh, that sucks.
we got young Harry on board from 16, so he's kicking plenty of goals.
Oh, that's good. You guys are up there. You've had some really good showings in the breeze a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we're improving, which is good. It's,
Okay.
it's all you can ask for, I think.
Totally.
So, yeah, today will be another good hit out there. Nice breeze, plenty of tide to deal with as well.
Is that running in tight?
Yeah, big running tide.
Okay.
It's always fun lifting the boat in.
Working the left, hey?
I think so, yeah.
It is hard. What's the strategy with getting out of here at low tide?
Just hope not many people are watching, I think.
Yeah,
when you
okay,
do it.
fair enough. That's the
But,
go.
no, it'll be good. A nice sea breeze on Sydney, so this is what everyone does 18s for, I think.
Exactly right. It's a picture perfect day, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
You going to be out there?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Moving house next week, so
Oh,
we're gonna pack
nice.
some
That was a
boxes.
good chat.
Good chat, mate.
All right, good to see you, mate.
later.
Bye.
business end of the park over here. Brett Van Munster's like the heavy air specialist.
Are we going to get any heavy air?
I think so.
I do, right.
Hey, Brett.
I've got sore knees, I don't want to bend.
How's the lead into the JJs?
Good. We've got a bit of road preparation to do. We'll probably wash it for the first time this year.
That's always a good start.
It is, eh?
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be getting pretty fired up and aggro at this time of year, but we'll just wash our boat.
Yeah, that's a good start. That's a good start,
Yeah.
yep.
So it's looking a bit grotty. It's had a lot of trips up and down the M1.
It does do a fair few miles, this one.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about our training routine. If we did as much sea miles as we did miles on the trail, we'd probably be in a lot better shape.
Yeah,
We'd probably actually sail, eh?
Yeah, no, you guys have been going well. Always good in the breeze.
Yeah, it's more fun, that's all.
That's it.
You should know.
Yeah, totally. How's the big Kurt going?
He keeps us entertained.
He
We
does.
can turn the telly on when he's around. It's
No,
good.
he's got a lot of good chat, the Kurt.
He does.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it.
Yeah. Got any modifications or anything coming into the JJs? Any changes you've been working on, ready to pull
For
out
us?
of the bag? Yeah.
Just said
Just
wash the boat.
that's
Wash
it.
the boat. That's what it is. Finishing the race, getting off the start, tacking, jiving, picking the lay lines, going
Perfect.
the right direction.
Yeah. Now you've got a good bunch of guys, and it's what it's all about, getting out there and having some fun and always sending it in breeze.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
start mate.
Exactly. Yeah. It should be a good one today, all right? Enjoy.
All right.
We'll keep wandering through. You got the ASCO boys live on Facebook or YouTube or
Which one, mate? Which one?
I don't know.
Are we going global? Are we on Weibo and WeChat and where else are we in
Mate,
the world,
we're on
mate?
it all. What else? Tinder?
Tinder,
You get
Grindr,
Grinder.
Hinge, see it
Yeah.
all here. Marcus Ashley Jones
That's
on all
it.
4 platforms around the world.
How you feeling, mate? You're in the lead?
In the lead, yeah.
Yeah.
Just sort of looking forward to it. A little day to minimise mistakes.
That's
and
it. What did you have for lunch?
we
No
had
chicken sandwiches. You don't want the chicken bones.
No chicken, no turkey.
You
We
don't
had
want to
some
choke. No
Good
turkey.
old-fashioned ham and cheese sandwiches. And
Yep.
a little meat pie just to make sure
We
they're
got
good.
that. He's wet
We are
himself down there.
Too,
We'll get
too excited. Too excited.
Mate, they're looking pretty casual here. We got the Doz, current world champion.
Yeah.
Yep.
How are you, Marcus?
Fantastic, mate.
The old Askatuzi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
these
taught us
boys,
everything
the
we knew.
Ascos, that's it. He's looking very relaxed these days on the back, eh?
Hey?
That's good. You're
Oh, yeah.
in a good spot, good mate. Oh, it'd be good to see you get the double, the Worlds,
Good.
the Nationals,
The JJ's in a couple
and
of
then the
weeks will be good.
JJs. Yeah. Have you done much work with the boat in the off season?
A few little sort of tweaks here and there, nothing
Yeah.
sort of major. But,
Okay. You got the new Southerns mast?
That's on the one rig.
Oh, the one rig. Yeah. How are you finding that?
Um,
Switching from the one spreader to the two spreader, right?
yeah, I think it's just sort of helps us get through the range a bit better.
Yeah.
I think that had a sweet spot, the one rig,
Yeah.
the single spreader, but I don't think it sort of performed well across the range. So
Yeah. Gotcha.
just trying to iron that out a bit, and it seems like it's going okay. We haven't done a lot of one rig sailing, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get a few more in before the JJs. But yeah, happier with it than the other one, that's for sure.
Gotcha, nice one. What's the plan today, mate? You've got a nice building nor'easter, running tide,
Yeah.
everything to
Just keep it clean today.
everything to lose. But you guys are pretty seasoned campaigns.
We'll be right.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, good one. All right,
Billy
best
boy,
of luck, mate.
see you
Take
around.
it easy.
Catch ya.
Okay. Here we'll wander over to the winning group. Hey Sam, how are you, mate? We're live here on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, right. Nice.
The legends of the sport. Mate. Stay in. How we doing?
Got a new
Yeah,
future.
well,
Commentator.
yeah, a little bit of commentary.
Here we are,
Here's the skipper, the mighty captain. It's good you finished the sail GP up a day early so Sam could sail on the skip.
Yeah, we asked them to move it forward a day for us.
That worked out quite well, yeah.
Been resting up for today, really.
Yeah.
See this one,
So what's the plan today, gents?
Hey, well,
got to win 2 races, I think.
2 races, yeah.
2 races, Herman said.
Yep. Who's your middleman? Where's Sebi?
I got Ewan McNichol in the middle today.
Ewan
so-
McNichol.
So yeah, fresh back for a couple of us. And
Yeah.
then we'll get us around the track, I'm sure.
Where's Sebi today?
Debbie, I don't know.
Gosford. Yeah. So you're doing the JJs with Sebi?
At least a couple of races.
Oh, that's a good start, yeah. He's good.
I've
When
heard
he
he's
turns
alright.
up. Yeah. And if you've got the Bose earphones, is that what you're going to use for the races? Or?
Working on that, working on that. I think Sebi's pretty motivated, He's been going well since he's got his new girlfriend.
Yeah, right. Who's that one?
Ashley, I think, one of the Angels.
Oh, one of the Angels back.
Yeah, he's got the Angels back in rotation.
Where did he find her on the Tinder platform?
I think it was Bumble, he said.
Right, yeah. Oh, it's good to see him back out there and fighting fit.
In the dating scene, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the...
Nice. Well, good luck today, boys.
Thanks, mate. Have a good day out there.
Okay. Keep wandering back through the
Why
park.
don't you interview a couple of fans here?
What's the time we've got now? 10 past 2. Got the bookie here. He's just been working on the odds.
I just got to get the
Nice to see you. Come here. What are we running today?
run away.
It's all very top secret, the odds these days. Keep wandering? Yeah. Okay.
That's what I used to say, and then I realized I don't need to be like
That right? How you doing, mate?
Good, about you?
That's good, yeah, good. Just pop down here with Jono. So, Jono, getting ready. You put the skiff together today, you put the camera cat together today, you're a busy man.
I'm very busy,
Yeah.
but we're getting there, and really looking forward to the JJs because there's a few new modifications we've done to the live streaming, which everyone's going to be pretty pleased about. So
Yep.
it's all coming together. So
Right.
yeah,
Oh, nice one. And what have you done here? You got an injury you're carrying? Or
it's just an old injury from
what's that? An
my
old
skateboarding.
skateboarding
years.
injury?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
did a lot of high speed longboarding when I was little.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice one. Any famous hills you've been down? San Francisco or anything like that?
Haven't done San Fran, but I've done a few curvy ones
Yeah.
over the years.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
And who have you got on today?
Well, I'm being demoted actually. So
what's happening? Does the bookie know that?
the bookie doesn't know that, so I think
Oh, your odds have come in a bit.
I think everyone should probably put some money on now. I think.
Quickly, yeah, get on in.
Yeah, no, Tommy Clouts, he's
Oh, hey, Tom.
He's on helm today.
Tom's
hello,
fresh
guys.
back off the farm. You, how's the cattle going?
What are you talking? Oh, the hat. Yeah, right. It's sunny. Didn't really get what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, cattle are going well.
Cattle are going well, good to hear. And on with Jono today, hey?
Yeah, thought I'd step in and see what we can
He's
achieve.
going to fix the boat up.
Yeah. And what's the issue? What's wrong with the boat?
I think the issue's me.
Really? You're not. And what's Tom going to say at the end of the day when you have a good day?
I think time for you to step down, Jono.
Don't forget your trapeze harness out of the trailer.
So you've had a few people throughout the season. Have you settled on a JJ's crew yet, or what's the plan there?
We're working on it,
Okay.
step by step.
Yeah.
Mustafa, our bowman, he's gone out. He doesn't want us out today because he's got a big tryouts coming up
What's that on?
overseas. I don't know, what boat's Mustafa going on?
Not sure. On a cut boat.
Yeah, I don't know, some sort of big boat.
Americans, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
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 And what's your feeling today? What's the hope for the top 5, top 10, top 3?
Don't know. Tom, what do you reckon?
Oh, I'd be happy with top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you interviewed Nick Daly?
No, we haven't. We're going to go grab the dark horse now.
Yeah, I think he's a good one to interview.
Yeah, we'll get...
Has that got
well, best of luck, Jono. Tom?
got the bleep mechanism set up on it?
Yeah, it'll be very entertaining.
Ask her about the pink eye.
Marcus, what are you watching on?
We're live on Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we're on it.
Marcus, what are you watching the racing?
Oh, nothing.
So you can't take a spinning
No, I can't, I'm sorry.
Alright.
More spinnaker troubles already, boys?
Yeah.
Predicting. It's preempting.
Preempting.
Why don't you take it out? What's the rules? You can switch spinnakers in between races, can you? Or?
If it's ripped.
It's nice you stuck these. How old are these sales, Mika?
5 years old, I think.
5 years.
We got them from the Maritime Museum.
You've got nice one, and they're looking good. I can see the yarn layout of the foot here. We'll just get a close-up of that. That's quality. This is the new technology they're running here at...
3DX.
I think Norths have even taken their logo off. No, it just goes to show these guys are the top of the field, and you know, sailing really well with the older generation of sails. So it's good.
How does it go with the rudder cover on
Yeah.
We're just the older
Speaking of older generations, we've got the mighty Captain Woody. How are you?
You're here just in time to give us a lift in.
Yeah, well, we can do that, no problem. How's it been? Where are you coming in the championships?
We haven't had a great series.
Haven't you?
We had a non-finish. And,
Oh, I saw that. Something came apart on the jib.
that was afterwards. We got blown, capsized and blown onto the rocks before we could get it back up. So,
Oh, nice one. And who have you got on today?
Cam's with us today. Cam's in for Rollo. He's at a wedding in
Rollers at a wedding.
Byron Bay, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Just a spot for him.
Nice one. And you got Rollo for the JJs?
Yeah.
Nice one. Oh, well, that'll be good. Okay.
Just give him an occasional fright. That's good enough for us.
Exactly. No, you're going on fire. So, it's probably one of the oldest boats in the fleet, the Yandu, across to the newest. What do you got on one of the absolute legends of the class over here. There's more personality on this boat than you can poke a stick at. We've got Nick the Dark Horse Daly, Tom the Anderson, and Johnny the Rocket Walton. Hey, how's the new sponsor going?
Yeah, no, they seem alright.
Yep. Boat looks great.
Yep, that's all signed up. Yeah, no. Good
Platinum
support.
5 anchors.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
that's the only way we
Hopefully you
roll.
won't ever need an anchor,
Yeah.
but you know.
Another anchor would be good, but you know,
That's
hopefully
good.
it'll be alright. I saw
Ready to go, let's go.
yeah, I saw 2 pigeons today flying in towards the north. So
Yep.
hopefully we should have a good day.
That's right. And what about any dew on the grass this morning?
Yeah, a little bit of,
Not much.
Not much.
there was a little bit of dew, a little bit of dew on the grass this morning.
Yeah.
Nor'easter.
You want to explain to us what the dew on the grass theory is?
The dew on the grass is that's Sevi passed out in the front yard.
But it's also
Truth be told, it's the nor'easter.
It's the nor'easter.
It's a sea breeze. Gets nice and moist in the morning.
before the days of the
and
internet.
it sweats up, and then the
Yeah.
sea breeze comes in and cools it down.
Before they used to use it to predict the strength of the nor'easter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're running late.
It's really the only time as well during the year that it is actually safe to sleep on the grass in Australia.
Yeah.
So.
Nice one. So this is the team for the JJs, is it?
No, we're thinking we'll sack John by the end of today.
Okay.
Mate, if I'm still walking at the end of today, I'll see you at the JJs.
Really? What have you got? What's going on, mate?
First day on for the year.
Seems to be a lot of people carrying injuries.
Coming back from the lower back, but we'll be
Lower
good.
back, is that from carrying the boat in?
I'm carrying this one. Alright, carrying the Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Oh, I still got your jump in my car, by the way.
Oh, perfect. I'll come and grab that.
Oh, I'll see you out there, guys.
See you there. So, Tommy, first season on the helm.
Yep.
Starting to get some good results on the board.
We're getting there. We're first lap warriors. We seem to have a bit of bad luck after the first lap, but we're going all right. We're getting off the start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking some of your tips.
Oh yeah, what will they be? Kind to your mother.
Yeah, go for speed.
Nice one.
There.
And have you learned a lot? Are you still talking with David Witt? He's giving you a few tips here and there.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Don't embarrass me. That's all he said.
Oh, that's good, and keep the mask dry.
Yeah, keep the mask dry.
Notice you've got a spare tiller extension on the boom.
We've had a few tiller problems this year, so I've got a bit of a voodoo about tillers.
Oh, fair enough.
We've got to take. I got tape. I got spare tillers. We've got connectors. We're ready.
You've got it all. You're the MacGyver of the
We have
skiff fleet.
three runs of the tiller breaks, and we're all good.
Nice one.
Only for the 2 races.
Yeah, yeah.
People have lost respect for us since Thompson on board.
Yeah. No, boat's looking good, boys. Best of luck.
Thank you, Marcus.
Okay, we'll just have a check-in now.
Off, Marcus? You got like a little...
Yeah, I think so. I think this is just like a little trial for the JJs. 20 past 2.
Make sure you cut my due comment in.
We're live, mate. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
What's the plan, Jono? Jono's still directing as he's going out to do a skiff race. What is our plan?
It's just after 2:20.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll let these guys carrying the boats down into the mud. As they said, it's low tide. So the best bit about low tide is you've got a long walk to get to the water, and then you get all the mud and seaweed in your boots before you go sailing.
Stingray, you're lucky.
Best of luck, and a stingray. I've had a stingray before, and they do hurt. It's not too windy. In the bay here, it's probably only about maybe 10 to 12 knots. Further out in the harbour, it's probably already up around 15, 16. I imagine it's going to build all day. It's certainly been building throughout the last hour or so considerably. If you come around here a little bit further, see it's quite tight getting in. The best place to get out on port, there's a bit of a sandbar that runs out sort of out behind where the kitchen maker is. You can launch off there and it drops off quite quickly and out behind the ferry. If you're over where Woody is, you do have starboard advantage on the boats launching from port, but you get a bit of bad air off the ferry and you end up hitting the sandbar over to the left there. So it's always better to take off over on the port side here, in my experience. Yeah, he's still over there, yeah. So I think today, my pick, I reckon Dozza's going to get a consistent 2 and 3. I think Smeg are going to get a 1 and a 5. I think the kitchen maker will probably, I think they're going to be like a 3 and a 4. I reckon Sean Langman's going to have a good race. What's this? You can see now they've quite tight getting all the boats in. I've got to go directly upwind to get out of the moorings off the sandbar. You see the bowman's in the water, but it's quite a sharp drop off here where they are. So the bowman's actually swimming, holding the boat head to wind, while the skipper's getting the rudder on.
What do you reckon about Bing Lee? What's he going to do?
Oh, Bing Lee. Look, Mick is he's a bit of a dragster. So today, being a nor'easter, it is a drag race, of course. It's a lot more down to speed, you know, and working the left with the run-in tide. And I'm sure Bucko will certainly voice his opinion on this, but I believe you'd be starting 2/3 of the way up the line and just ripping it into Bradley's, and and then laying back up into the next headland as quickly as you can back onto starboard, working the left quite hard. I think there's more of a northerly slant in the breeze than your traditional sea breeze, so bit of gradient in over the top. It's John Winning going in there. Ewan McNichol, as they said. First time back in a skiff in a long time. He usually comes out of the woodwork for the JJs every few years, but good to see him filling in for his old mate Sevi. They obviously won a championship back in the day together when Ewan was steering and Sevi was on the main sheet. Back when he was probably 18, 19, hanging out at Future Music. Why don't we wander down and we'll find Ian Murray. See over here, there's only 2 boats left in the park. Jono likes to always be the last boat in the water. He's superstitious like that.
They've got a lot of sponsors here today,
Ilby?
Yeah, they've got a lot of the sponsors here today.
Oh, okay, do they?
Yeah.
Make sure, Jono's got all the... We'll just get a close-up of this. Jono's opted for the runners today.
It's the Le Mans start, isn't it? The Le Mans start.
Tell us through. You're the only one wearing sand shoes, Jono. Is that for support of that ankle of yours?
The new sponsor.
Jordan Curtis, what does he run?
Always wears his Nikes.
Does he? Oh.
Yeah, refuses to wear those.
I don't have sailing shoes.
No sailing shoes.
Don't
Is that because
we've got a sub-sponsor going.
Is that because your mum forgot to pack them this morning, or?
No, because I'm just struggling with life.
Let's go, Jono.
Hey, you need a harness.
Did you get that on camera?
Yeah, we got. How are the pies today?
Running out.
Running out? Oh, that's good. Yeah. What sells better, the toasties or the pies?
The toasties.
The toasties.
But it's been a heavy day for everything.
Heavy? Oh, that's good.
Are you the one who wants to lift out to the camera cat or not?
No, I don't think. I think that's. I'm not sure who that is, but I think Lara's going with Ian Murray on the red, doing the boundary riding.
Okay.
Right. Okay, no worries. Good luck. See you later.
Thank you, Mark.
Signing off.
Ian's waiting. He's been waiting since 15:15, apparently. I don't know what the communication was, but... Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, like just a USB. Can you go down and tell him? You're on your way.
Straight for that phone.
You know how to do that? Just a race hobby cat. Oh, good. You said to me, try and have... Fish on, full fire. Full fire. Welcome viewers to the Camera Cat for another day, the last day of racing for the Australian 18-footer title for 2019. My name's Andrew Buckland. I'm joined on the Camera Cat here today in commentary by James Bury and Stephen Quigley, leading the technical team today. Michael Chittenden, and apologies first up to the viewers, no drone today for some complex technical reasons, but we'll endeavour to bring you the best of Sydney Harbour 2 races, Steve. The last 2 of this championship. Who are you liking and why?
Yeah, Andrew, races 8 and 9 of the Australian Championship. And quite frankly, I like the top 5. For those viewers that didn't hear the earlier recap on the points, we have the mighty Asco, the red boat, one of the red boats, on 14 points. We have the Kitchen Maker and who else do we have? The Winning Group, second on 15 points, just 1 point adrift. And then we have on 4th place, we've got Bingley, and close behind and 5th on 18 points, we have the Smegglers. So it's all to play for today, Andrew. 5 boats within 4 points on a 2-race day.
No, it's perfect, isn't it?
It's amazing.
We could barely have arranged it, and who would have thought in the end, that, okay, there's a couple of guys with some days breakages where they've got 19 points, so the first and 5th guys have both got big discards, but the middle guys have got all to count type scorecards.
Reasonably, I mean, it's quite interesting because they've all got 7s and 8s to discard. The other 3, we've got 2 boats with maximum point discards and the others with 7 and 8. So that may come into play on the 2-race day again.
Well, and to make the point, perhaps the weather today, the synoptic situation, pretty normal Australian summertime situation, high pressure cell on the Tasman Sea. The next trough is back at Melbourne somewhere. Things a little suppressed perhaps from tropical cyclone just off the Queensland coast. So we're seeing pretty high humidity today and the breeze not quite as strong as we might have otherwise thought. But nor'easter expected to build, tide starting to flood as we speak, about an hour into the flood, and a lot of flow, 1.7 metres of water to come in.
Yep.
So that means quite strong current, and the second race we'd expect to actually get quite windy. Steve, wind where we are now, 14, yeah?
Yeah, 14. I think there's a little more up the harbour, Andrew, like 14 to 16 I'd put it, and it's, as we were remarking before, it's quite an interesting breeze. It's sort of left on the left and there's some righties on the right, so you see someone get behind, they may take a bit of a punt and hit the right-hand shore on the run-in tide, but anyway, as you've already alluded to, it's just a sparkling Sydney summer's day.
And a little bit of humidity, but I think James and James Bury has just come off driving around all week supporting the GP series and has got ultraviolet etched into his face. Jimmy a bit milder today, plenty of sun. It's a 2-lapper on here. The windward mark, he says 030, which is from where we are at the normal start line, but a 2-lap windward leeward the first race puts that mark up sort of in the middle of the harbour near Nielsen Park. Yep.
Yeah, mate. Big week with the GP, and we're not going to be doing as shorter courses as what they did, but I think the top mark, when I was listening to Dougie before, he's put the top mark in up near the Blinker Buoy there off Nelson Park. Just hope that a few of the guys realise the distance and where they can and can't go, and don't play too hard into Taylor's Bay and overstep that mark there. So, but I think we're in for a really good day, a cracking day on Sydney Harbour, as you said. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
It's a classic. From the time we left the wharf in the Camera Cat, which was about half an hour ago, the breeze has done exactly what it does. It's started to funnel and it's turned left, Steve. So
it has, yeah. No, I think your 14 knots is looking a little shy on now.
Yeah, it's now 1.6er. Yeah. Change the jib, please.
Well, everyone's on their little rig anyway, right?
Yeah, so there's no
on the right rigs, which is great. That's not going to sailing an overpowered big rig in this isn't the way you want to finish a championship. So
no.
I think they'll be fine.
Righto, boys, I'm going to put you both on the spot. Bucko, you first.
Oh,
it's a 2-race day.
2 races, the whole.
Well, let's look at it in the context of the the whole regatta. So it's all to play for today. The medals are going to be handed out this afternoon.
Correct.
So who's the gold medalist?
Inevitably, you'd have to favour the Asco, and I think with Trent Barnabas in the middle, they look a bit more muscly than they were before. And they have been working hard, and James has been helping them a little bit as well. Up at the Manly home of the owner-operators of the ASCO, James Doran, and Trent obviously prominent from the 16-footer club up there. I do kind of like Smeg. They've got nothing to lose. They will have a big shot at this first race. Tougher, I think, for the Kitchen Maker and Bingley, who have tended to be better in a bit less wind than we will expect to see overall today. And that leaves the winning group, a bit of an enigma. Ewan McNichol on the sheet today, subbing for Sevi Jarvin, who's away Etchell racing. And Ewan, a terrific sailor, previous winner of the Giltman on the main and on the steering stick, so certainly highly skilled, but still not that easy a gig. And I'd be a bit surprised if the winning group survives today on the podium, in fact.
Yeah, look, Big Sam Newton, I saw him last night. We had a Wild Oats function that he attended after his GP 50 victory, and he was looking fabulous. I mean, I think I would never write him off. I think that Ewan fills in for Sevi quite adequately. I think he, more than adequately probably. I think that they have been the form boat. They're equal second on points. They're there for a reason. I think they'll be in the top three, and I tend to agree. I'm expecting Smeg. I'm expecting a little bit of nervousness from ASCO today. They've shown themselves to be a little fragile in previous days when the pressure's on. But as you said, Trent adds some backbone there. Certainly, some mental toughness as well, and experience under pressure. So I think it's. I'm expecting Smeg to come out firing. I think they're coming from behind in the points. They need to make their mark in the first race. I'm expecting them to, really try and stamp their authority on the first race. And then in the second race, well, let's review after that. But I agree with your comments on, I've got my Kitchen Maker shirt on today, boys.
Yeah, have you got two eyes in today and 2 ears?
No,
just
I never have.
One eye.
Never have. One eye. So I'm openly biased and in favour of the Kitchen Maker. I know Darren's sitting up there in Switzerland in his ski resort. On the edge of his. I'm sure he's got his shirt on. He always does. He's got his black and orange on, and he's cheering the boys on. He sent them a couple of notes during the week. Good luck, enjoy yourself, and have fun. So, but it's not there. Generally, I mean, I'm not writing them off. I still think they're going to win, but. I think they're going to win.
All right, Steve.
So I'm going Kitchen Maker, ASCO, Smeg.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Good work. I suppose
Jimmy.
you have to say that.
All right.
Jimmy can talk to us about
how much
investment.
I'm straight up and down. I'll go ASCO. There's no two ways about it.
He's not biased either.
You haven't got your red shirt on, though.
No, it's in the wash. And then I reckon just for a little bit of an upset amongst the whole lot of them, I think you'll find the Finport up there as well today. They're not, obviously they missed a few races and they're not going to appear on the overall podium, but I think today, and then obviously the Smeg and the ASCO, they've been punching in some hours and putting the beautiful breezes that we've had over the last week to good use. And, I know the ASCO have been doing a ton of work, not only on the water but also off the water to try and knuckle everything down. I think, as you alluded to, Bucko, with Trent bringing that extra layer of armour to that team, and that is locked in and confirmed now for the JJs. I think we'll start to see the ASCO sort of rise. I don't want to write your boys off, Steve. I'm very proud of how they've gone. You don't have to be the proud father moment, but as a spectator and a commentator on these races, the Kitchen Maker has slowly but surely been chipping away and starting to really make a name for himself.
Yeah. And they were out twice this week. They did a big rig day and a little rig day with Coco from North Sales, and they're underweight. They're 30 kilos lighter than the top team, so they'll inevitably struggle today. But that's the reality of the situation. But it is what it is. They're the young team. They're moving forward, and they're going to take this as as an example of what you do on the last day. to get yourself in the frame and put yourself in a position to win the championship, and hopefully, you know, casting forward to the JJ. I think final Sunday, the JJ, Bucko, you might be commentating and saying similar things. I'm hopeful that it'll be a very close, you know, 5-way shootout for the title.
It's probably be an 8-way, mate. With the Kiwis, I did a little bit of homework through the week on the Kiwis, and they do look like they've been working fairly hard also.
I think, you know, I think there's probably, I don't know who the 3rd and 4th Kiwis are. No, I think I do, Ginge. I mean,
the
you
top
know,
three
so
Kiwis
the top 3 will be awesome.
Will be formidable.
So it will be formidable. That's a great word for it.
And you've seen what happens here. The peloton then gets bigger and harder, and everything is under a bit more pressure. There's now 10 boats in the space. There used to be 7.
Yeah.
And they're fast. They're not slow.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, a top 10 finish in the JJ will be a keeper, is my prediction. It doesn't matter who you are. Because our fleet has a lot more depth this year. You know, with some experienced campaigners coming back into the fray, and it's going to be a lot, you know, it'll be a lot harder to win this year than it was last year. It's never easy to win, but I think by virtue of the competition, it stepped up again this year.
And for the viewers, just sort of explain the Finport. We would expect them to be the fastest boat upwind more or less today. They haven't historically started too well, so in a short course format they do tend to struggle a bit, but they can't win the regatta because they did not effectively compete the first 3 races. But they probably would expect to get 2 podiums out of today. And as I was noted, the 2 men in the boat, as in Matty Stenner and Charlie Gundy, their combined age is less than individuals on most of the rest of the boats. I'll put it that way politely as I can. So the second race, you know, in these boats, this format is always, you know, physically tough, and it's a long time on the water to maintain.
Yeah, look, I think if we're talking in context of who's likely to win the race today and stay out of the melee and the tactical racing, absolutely, Finport can sail their own race, and we would expect them to be in the top 2 or 3 in both races, Bucko.
Exactly,
Totally agree
and
with that.
with nothing to lose.
So today, we're very lucky. You'll notice on screen now, viewers, we've got one of our great long-term sponsors, the Ilvi Appliances Group. We've got a fabulous crowd. We're just getting the thumbs up there from Suzanne Stevens. So they've got a great crowd out today, Jimmy, enjoying the last 2 races.
What a great day to be on the water. Like it's an amazing boat to be on, the best of times, but to be out to watch the 18s on Sydney Harbour today, I think they're in for a treat.
It looks slightly more comfortable than a Camera Cat, Steve. Is that possible?
Oh, no, I think it's possible. Beautiful boat, the JBW.
No, it's a treat.
So I hope the Ilvi support crew have a great day. So back to the start, boys. The contenders are lining up.
Just bringing the camera around. We're just, again this week, just trying out the Camera Cat down at the pin end. As Bucko alluded to you.
Yeah, no, we're 40 seconds.
We're down to pretty much so the 1 camera on board here, so we're just trying to line you up.
ASCO paid the money to get the leeward end here, and that's a good plan. Finport prominent towards the top. Everybody a little early. Finport looking dangerous.
Who's that running the line?
That will be the Birkenhead Marina.
Birkenhead Marina.
But the bias is in for the pin, so...
You needed a red boat to be at the pin.
10 seconds. The Smeg very close. Wow.
Could be over.
5. The Smeg's over. That will be a general, I suspect.
ASCO running over the pin. Kitchen Maker a little buried there.
Who can read the signals the quickest?
Individual recall flag is up.
Interesting development for the Regatta Buckos.
Okay, so the Smeg is slowing down here, so they're thinking it's them that's over, and they're going to try and find a gap and peel back.
They were over pretty cleanly. A whole boat length, Steve, yeah?
Oh, yeah. No, look, I think let's give kudos to Dyer there. He saw them coming down the line early. Coco pulled the trigger just a little early, and Dyer said, well, I'm not going to let you get away with that. And he luffed up very nicely and pushed them over the line, like held them up over the line. So good on him.
No, the ASCO pretty well judged that one, I would suggest.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Anyway, the winning group in the middle of the fleet here, and who else is good?
Just on the winning group there, on screen. So
again with the left hand in the breeze, you know, we're into the danger zone here, aren't we?
Yeah, the Bingley had to jump out of there, too much dirty air.
Yeah.
They've got a nice little gap to go back on their bucko, so they'll be okay.
Finport high and slow out of the boat end might do all right here also, but the leader is ASCO.
ASCO doing well.
And they look like they've got enough room to tack and cross before they're close to where they have to tack though.
Are they across? Are they cleanly across Birkenhead Point?
They'll be across Birkenhead, yep.
Really?
I think so.
They're just coming up to that danger zone that we talk about each week.
They're in the header.
Yeah, they need to get out of there fast.
And
so does the kitchen maker.
In any event, easy work, Steve.
Yeah, no, they did that. Cross the fleet there.
The Birkenhead.
Birkenhead just had a bit of a bad tack just off screen. Winning group did the nice thing and just ducked them. They obviously like this left-hand edge
and this is
on winning group.
Right where the camera cat is, the nicest bit of catabatic you'll see. Bingo!
There's that word again.
Have a look. Keelboat in trouble on starboard up in front of us. The fleet pretty well behaved though, Steve. Look at this. Wow. Spike.
Yeah, the fleet doing a good job there. ASCO just nailed it. Nailed the start. Nailed the tack out of there.
Finport sending a warning. Finport sending a warning, Steve.
Yep.
In third from the windward end.
Yeah. So winning group got out of there nicely as well. They're probably in clear second. Kitchen Maker doing a reasonably good job too. They took it on at the pin. They kind of got rolled by Coco, which, you know, being over, which didn't do them any favours. But they're in the top 5. So let's call it, we've got ASCO winning group, Finport, Birkenhead Point, the Bingley coming back from the right-hand side on starboard, and probably the Kitchen Maker and Noakes.
So yeah, just on the Kitchen Maker and the winning group here on screen. A couple of boats that we're talking about that, you know, we thought would feature. Just got Bingley that bailed out early, coming back on starboard, crossing through the fleet.
Yeah, the Bingley the winning group looking very settled there, I'd say, Jimmy. I think they're looking good. Just off to the right, you can see the Bingley and the Kitchen Maker. I think the Kitchen Maker's a crawl, maybe not. No, they're through.
Kitchen Maker's going through.
Bingley
just threw a little bit of jib to, I think, try and sell the story, as we say.
Sell the story, yeah, Mick is good at that.
So
anyway, I'm sure that'll even itself out over the course of the day.
I've just got to get moving.
So we're on the winning group, and today we've got Sam Newton in the bow.
You got Birkenhead Point Marina just doing a penalty turn for that little indiscretion they had earlier. I think they're...
Anyway,
well, and good on them. You know, they've complied now, so off they go.
And there's a gap on screen between first and second on course between winning group and ASCO, just out there in front of them, in front of their jib. It's not 6 blokes on one boat. There you go. Just had a bit of a...
Who are we on?
We just flick cameras, and ASCO, we go back. A bit of yelling and a bit of kung fu between a yacht and a skiff going on behind us. The ASCO's tack there. We're back on what we're looking at. We're on ASCO and the winning group. Still following the winning group. I'm just going to use the winning group as a bit of a barge boy to get us through. So we tack over onto starboard, Steve. We'll be bow on bow with Finport at the moment. Royal Oak Double Bay. Yeah, coming up nicely. I think they're in fourth there at the moment.
Yeah. Now the winning group looking very settled. I think they're setting up for attack here to come back and check in with the fleet. See them casting their eyes up to that eastern shore, and they probably like the look of the little righty coming down, Bucko.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? The Windward Mark being laid hard to the right edge changes the dynamics a fair bit.
Nasco appears to have extended their lead. The one that's done really well out of all that is the Bing Lee.
That equals one good visit to Bradley's Head, James.
Yeah, that's amazing, because they crossed just behind the Kitchen Maker and they're like 50 metres in front.
Yeah, and the Kitchen Maker didn't have they weren't sailing badly, Steve. So
no, such a good bit of wind there at Bradley's. You have to get there if you can.
Yeah.
But then the other way around, Finport now going to the left edge, which favours, and Bingley will come back, and probably Finport will cross them when they come back. So it's a bit of our turn, your turn, but
the Bingley looking fast to me, Bucko.
Yeah, no,
they look really good through the water.
They are going
through the water. So
nice.
let's give them credit for picking the shift, but give them credit. I think they're quick.
Big Pete Harris standing on his tiptoes is a lot of RM.
It is. Dan Phillips in the middle today.
And obviously Dan, a pretty useful skiff sailor as well in the middle. So
yep.
Very tough outfit, I think, in fact. But just probably only just seen their combination gel in the last week or two.
Yeah. But looking ahead, we're on the Finport with the winning group just to windward, and off in the distance we've got the Asker, who really are showing the fleet the way. I mean, they've launched
30-40 second lead.
Yep.
But Finport in third pretty easily, and almost squeezing themselves up into the dirty air of the winning group. Contrasting style, the Finport high and slow, and the winning group just bow down a little more twist. Wow.
Pretty tough to get out of that, though. I mean, they might get up on their hip, but they'll run out of runway, I suspect.
This is almost like Keegan's nemesis, where you're sort of stuck in that bad air from the boat above. He doesn't have that, foot off and go fast.
He does. He just hates doing it.
I know, but that's what I mean. He doesn't have it in his head to do it. No. So, where the rest of the guys, they sail slightly differently to the way Keegan sails the Finport.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with either style.
Should be about where that white chute is. Yes, it's just the yellow one.
Everyone's all pushing hard up into Taylor's Bay here. Interesting one, way off camera. We won't bother swinging the camera around for it, is the Bing Lee, and the Noakes up over, coming off Shark Island. They're closing the gauge quite well, and Woody's over there as well. But I think this is still the lead pack.
The lead pack and the advantage is on this edge, and the tide is now material, I would suggest. We're 1 hour and a bit, 1 hour and 15 into the flood. So breeze on the left edge here, probably compass 025 or something like that, hard left, and looks to me like Asco will be right on the ley line for the Windward Mark. The Windward Mark towards Watson's Bay. I think they might even be overstood.
With the tide, they might be all right, Bucko.
Yeah, maybe.
But
they're certainly well up, aren't they?
Well, look, let's just take a second to look at what they've achieved. So, we're halfway up the work and they're 100 metres in front, mate. They're...
Well, perfect leeward end start. Went to the good wind at Bradley, crossed everybody cleanly.
Yeah.
That's the game. So, we used to say, Steve, first man to Bradley's Head shall win the race.
Well, Noakes group just tacked under the Royal Oak, and they probably could have forced the Royal Oak to tack back there. So
the Royal Oak are quick. My boys were out training with them during the week, and they are doing. I mean, you can see it there. They look comfortable. They're in a nice power band. They're all flat and fast, and they've got a really good VMG. They can go high and slow or fast and low. They've got the weight to press on the jib and send it, so they're doing a nice job.
Yeah, and again, their cohesion has only just arrived in the last, 6-8 weeks.
Yeah.
Or, so we say, post-Christmas.
Yeah.
So...
I dare say the Bing Lee's played himself up in the third comfortably there now, Steve.
Well, I think they are. Look, I think they're quick, Jimmy. You know, I think that, you know, they're obviously very experienced in sailing well, but they're quick.
Why don't we I've got a gap here, we might take off and go up to this top mark and see what the boys have got going on up there.
These guys are just short of the low line, so well done everybody. You could go all the way to the left edge, but it's pretty clear that the track up the left has paid.
Just us in the winning group there with the guy up the bow, Sammy Newton, winning the inaugural Sail GP event with Tommy Slingsby.
How's that for the trapeze position, Steve? Below the wing fully. Amazing.
Low hawks, Bucko.
Low hawks, old son.
Maximum RM.
Yeah. And minimum windage.
Got his shoulders back.
Amazing.
Yeah. Doing a nice job.
But, you know, that's the sort of thing that can happen in a nice nor'easter such as we have today. No running in and out, just lead.
So just on the Noakes group there on camera.
And the Ascos, they basically...
in the background.
Coming up to the top mark here, boys, and the Ascos nailed that ley line. You know, I think with the effect of the tide, they're just going to have a nice little tack on to starboard to get themselves set up, bang off for a comfortable bear away. So good job, James Doran, Harry Bethwaite and Trent Barnabas.
Got a taser. Cross.
This guy might be. Is he?
Yeah.
He's a little
bad position.
No, Nicky Redpath not good, I think you've got.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, mate, they got a bearer.
The Asco leads, a bit dusty, breeze soft here on the right edge. Asco leads by
a long way.
30, 40 seconds, did we say?
Yeah, a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna turn the camera cat around so that we can get Mumbo on down the course.
The winning group will be second. Bingley third. Royal Oak fourth. Wow. They are fast through the water, aren't they, Steve?
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Well, maybe about Noakes over here on the left.
Clancy,
Okay.
Clancy the overlay, did you say? Very good friends with Clancy. Yeah, so the peloton is coming at him.
Pat just to come around to his left a little. I think you'll find. So first, obviously, Asco. Second, winning group. Third, Bingley. Fourth is going to be the Noakes group. And fifth will be Royal Oak Double Bay. Or is Finport going to jam in there? What do you reckon?
Oh, they'll go in behind Noakes, won't they?
Keegan doesn't.
Should really crossed them there rather than blocking them, but
he's okay. That's legal, I reckon.
I don't think you're supposed to attack
No.
inside that area, correct?
he could have crossed them and gone up on their hip without any effect. But
Yep.
it's marginally legal, let's put it that way, Bucko.
Marginally illegal, but
Yeah.
under the Old Mates Act, all good. So that lead there was 45 seconds.
Right. Yeah,
Okay, and just got the
substantial
kitchen. If we get Pat to come around to his left here, just got that's it. Got the kitchen maker and Marine Pitwater. A little bit of banter going on between those two. Assuming that's friendly, Steve, is it?
Oh, it's always friendly.
Polite discussions, they're called.
Commodore Simon Nern, giving the benefit of his experience, I think.
Then got the appliances online, Vintech. The next one around is going to be the Smeg after having to go back at that start.
All right, now, gentlemen, here's a trick question. Where will Smeg end up in this race?
I'm thinking probably in front of Vintech at the moment. If Pat, come around to your right, come around to your right.
Or the
There you
Vintech.
go, the Vintech, the big, what we call the prawn.
Didn't get any though, mate. I can see they didn't get any at all.
No. Still going hungry. All right, let's go chasing these boys down, and girls. Can't forget Quality Marine Clothing, About Heritage, and Panasonic, Katie Love. So let's go chase these boys down and girls and see what we can come up with. Look I know one thing, talking with Doro during the week was, he just had to sort of be a little bit audacious about how he approached all this and the best way that he could come up with a plan to make it all work best for him, and about managing and realising that 2 races, you've just got to get a first or a second in 1 or 2 of them. Obviously 2 firsts is perfect, but you've got to try and manage the other boats that you're racing and where their positions are.
Yeah. Well, he's already spent his drop, so he's got 2 counted. Both his races will count for the day. So even if he does win this race, he's still got to perform in the next race. He's still got to be top 5 or 6.
Yep.
So it's not over for him yet, that's for sure.
I think if he wins, he probably would just needs a 4th or something, Steve. So to be sure, in the second race. Depending on
the other places.
Lots of things, but just looking at the way it's unfolding, geez, a long way in front now.
He is a long way in front.
I'll tell you one thing I've noticed from the driving I've been doing the last week, Bucko, versus driving on the harbour today. There's no exclusion zone, so we've got all the spectators for the 18s, and there's a lot of them out there. Ducking and weaving all over the place.
Now the winning group having a race with the ferry here, Steve.
I think they're through.
Compliantly through, do you think, James?
Just.
Never in doubt, really, was it?
If you don't get the hooter, we're good.
Oh, we okay. Fair enough then.
I didn't hear any horns.
No.
Captain Cup's been driving the freshwater the last couple of days, so hopefully Cubby's on there.
So for the viewers, Cubby Barnett, a long-time skip sailor, previous winner of the Gilman, mighty fine yachtsman from a mighty fine yachting family.
I saw him in the boat park, Jimmy, so...
Okay. Maybe he's...
Unless he's clocked on it.
No, but he might have been coaching the other guys, I'm thinking.
I tell you what, the ferries have been amazing all season for us, and also for a lot of other racing that goes on the harbour there. It's been really good for them to... a couple of years ago they were pretty horn happy, I guess is the right word to use. There's areas that you're not allowed to go around the ferry. Just in there.
So the fleet really roaring. Not much has changed down this run. ASCO's maintained their separation. Winning group looked like they might have had a bit of bother with the aforesaid Manly Ferry, but they've escaped from that. Tricky, as we've noted, always approaches the bottom mark. Bingley in 3rd now, Finport 4th and Noakes 5th. Good header for these guys on the Port Jibe, the guys that didn't go close to Bradley's, and they got a bit scared off, Finport and Bingley, by the Manly Ferry. And the Manly Ferry does about 17 knots straight downwind, which is just above the VMG for these boats in this wind speed.
Well, I think it was conservative navigation, Bucko, and collision avoidance, and traditionally it doesn't pay to get left up in there. But I've got to say, I think they've probably done okay in this instance.
Yeah, just that the wind is probably strongest at that place, but equally takes a couple more drives to do it. So to get right down on the headland really cost you 2 extra drives.
On the ASCO coming into the bottom turn marks, so there's 2 bottom marks, so they can choose which mark they go around down here.
So ASCO be going in for a jibe drop, I would have thought. No.
I think they'd be going in for a straight. You want to get back out to Bradley's, right? Okay.
Wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I'm with Jimmy, Bucko. I think the right-hand mark, as we're looking at it here on the screen's the favoured one. Because then you're on starboard tack out into the middle of the harbour and the breeze. So,
but then you've got a windward set for the next shoot. So
yeah.
Anyway, probably 6 or 1, half a dozen of the other, but ASCO leads.
You've got the time clock on it.
But the winning group has caught up a lot.
In hot.
Has caught up a lot.
So just got
I think the
winning
pack's
group coming in, Bingley coming in for a jibe drop.
I think the pack's caught up, Bucko.
Yeah, no, the winning group didn't.
Winning group?
A bit too conservative on the drop. Anyway, 25 seconds, so they've taken 20 seconds away. That's,
yeah, but importantly, the Bingley, the Noakes, you know, and probably even the Finport have all caught Asco, so the fleet have compressed.
Well, Jimmy, I was talking with Mr. Doran the other day. He was complaining about his upwind speed, but maybe he should be thinking about his downwind speed, do you think? I don't know.
I've asked him to take his spinnakers somewhere and have a look at them. There's, I don't think there's too much wrong with the spinnakers. I just think some little lines need to be adjusted on them.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think there's too much wrong with either of their modes. They've just got to get this crew combination knuckled down. I think give them another week and we'll see a different boat again. Just on the Royal Oak, coming around just behind the Finport. So our leaders, Asco, second winning group, third Bingley, fourth the Noakes group. Sean having a great race. Nothing has touched wood, wherever a bit of wood is for us. Nothing's happened to him yet. And here comes Smeg in the peloton. Kitchenmaker just going around the mark behind Yandu, John Winning. Then Brady Van Munster and the Appliances Online following the Kitchenmaker. And the Smeg muscling their way back through this field. Do you think they got enough race course to get themselves somewhere up near a 4 or a 5? Or
No, I think they've got another 6 or 7, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's going to be challenging for them. There's,
It's not
there's
windy
too much
enough.
quality in front of them.
There's too much quality. It's not windy enough. It's not gnarly enough.
No.
Blah, blah.
No.
Not enough to do. But they won't stop trying, and we know that.
We absolutely know that.
Okay, and here comes the rest of the peloton. And Ilvy in the background there, catching up. So, and I think Tommy Clout's steering that today, and Jono Whitty has jumped up the bow.
Yeah, I did have a chat with Tommy before the race, and we were comparing notes, Tommy and I, about a similar build, you know, and he said, no, he's bulked up to a full 70-something, you know.
Right.
71 kilos, mate. I've seen him having a pie in the club.
Yeah, exactly.
So just catch up to the lead group here, just passing the Smeg, Reagan Famish Hotel, and one of our newest sponsor, Birkenhead Marina, Drummoyne, in the background there behind the Reagan Famish.
Wow.
A bit of a kung fu cut through the middle here. So behind the Kitchenmaker will cut.
So again, the breeze at the bottom are quite light, maybe down below 14. But where we are now up towards Bradley's Head on the left edge of the course, well up towards 18, perhaps even a little more now. So the anticipated build is turning up, I think. And the flags on the top of the harbour bridge have now turned left and are strung out hard. So the sea breeze has strengthened and deepened. Okay.
How important were those flags, Bucko, back in the day when you were sailing? Did you use those flags there and the flags over at the golf course in Wallara, or you guys just had it that good on the old Colour 7, you just pinned the ears back and went for it?
Well, no, I told you the rule. Northeast, the first man to Bradley's Head wins the race. So that was our theory. It wasn't very complicated. Have a look, the Finport digging hard left here.
That's hard left.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't see that on the screen. We're on the Noakes group at the moment, but Finport really taking it on going in there.
So the Finport, you know, the previous beat wasted their upwind ability. They got on the leeward edge of boats and they like to go high and slow. They ended up sailing up through the Dirty Air winning group. And so they didn't net any gain.
Steve, I've just got to slow down a little here, bud.
No, you're
Yeah,
right.
cheers.
Slower, you're
Just got a cross coming up here between the Noakes group and Bingley. So Noakes group's closing gauge there. Sean's obviously tweaked the boat a little bit during the week and almost appears like a different boat.
Well, they've been fast sometimes, Jimmy, with these, you know, with these A-grade combination, and they've been pretty good sometimes. But for the viewers, you know, the amount of work that goes on, little recuts, little resets of the rigs. I know, you know, there's a lot of resources being applied to every boat of the first 6 at least. And Sean, you know, take no prisoners kind of approach as well.
They're just setting up for attack here. I don't know if you've seen the Riviera in the background, just moseying on down the harbour with the Chardonnay.
No, the bubbly
Nathan.
stuff, I think, Jimmy.
Nathan Edwards struggling a little bit at the front there, but he's recovered. He and Ed Power's doing a great job today for Sean.
Yep.
And a nice wave from the powerboat. Wow.
Just try and slow down so we don't get absolutely drowned on the camera caddy.
Nearly.
Maximum displacement down the harbour. The only way to get around on a stink boat, right?
Yeah. The Finport had to go back, couldn't quite cross Noakes. So there's a battle for fourth. It's a good fight.
It is a good fight. Yeah, no, the viewers at home, just to recap, the Asco well in front, the winning group comfortable second, but Bingley, Finport and Noakes doing a great job for third, fourth, fifth.
The Finport able to use their high mode here, and we'll see them probably squeeze up to Noakes, and Noakes know well about that, so they'd be perhaps compensating. I think Finport a little too close to the shore to actually make a big gain. They do have to tack again probably, so a little bit short, but
It looks like the Asco, they're off screen just to the right hand side. It looks like they've opened up a little lead on
yeah,
the winning group.
Yeah, winning group too close in, James, I think, as well, yeah.
Asco stretched again. Is that what we're saying, man?
Yeah. Less tax, good placement.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, well, it can be easier from the front.
Nothing like a 1 minute lead, is it, mate?
Right, exactly. Get to dictate terms and where you place your boat on the course. So
first use.
Yeah.
And you know, the crews would all know now this is an extremely one-sided track.
Sean just waving, whistling to the Etchell just above him, just sort of saying, "Hey mate, we're here."
Any
you
chance?
Can wind it up and give us a little bit of breathing space. We've got a race on our hands. The Etchell, I assume, is out racing as well, so you know they're entitled to do their thing.
Doesn't look very racy to me, Jones.
Not with the outboard bracket on the back, mate.
Beer can racing.
It's a giveaway.
Beer can racing.
So, Steve, looking at this, we're travelling with Noakes. Finport dead in front of the camera cat.
Yeah, there we go. We're on the Finport now, Bucko.
So there's a perspective, guys, not too far. Much separates these boats. Finport, as we suggested, high and slow. Can't cross Noakes yet, I don't think.
Bingley's done the same thing up this work as well, boys. They've gone hard over to Shark Island and are just coming back now. And everyone else has chosen to come over into Taylor's Bay.
Finport into the header can now cross Noakes, so we'll do so.
Yeah.
Here they go.
Stay on the Finport here for the cross, hopefully. And Noakes compliantly folds over with them, mate.
Finport just burned him off clean there.
Yeah.
So, and Bingley coming back from the right, so that's the next cross of interest.
So you can just see Bingley in the background of the shot, just behind the mainsail of the Finport.
Finport crossing him at the moment, I think, just. But if not, just a narrow duck, and I think Finport will just duck him and go, so it wouldn't be bothering them too much. They've escaped Noakes.
Keegan looks like he wants to have a go.
Bingley just crossing him.
Ah, there he goes, cracking off.
So Finport just having a
beautiful small duck, no worries. They'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
So Steve, the right never pays, does it really?
Oh.
Flood tide, north or east.
Flood tide, yeah. I think earlier on in the day it may have, like a little, but generally. Generally not. I agree with him.
Manly Ferry coming at us and get up with the winning group, and Asco going first and second place getters, going to the top mark for the last time in this race.
So the Manly Ferry is going to go around the bow of these guys, I think, pretty cleanly. So
it's going to go around the bow of the front couple, but perhaps not the following pack.
Yeah, no, he's got upwind VMG of 17, Steve. These guys are only doing 7 VMG, don't forget, okay?
Fair enough.
Sort of.
But anyway, we're on our 2 leaders, and you'll notice that Asco has set themselves up to windward and ahead of the winning groups. in the covering position, loose covering position, so they'll be one and into the mark. Winning group doing it nicely in second, but they'll have to pull something out of the fire to get in front of ASCO, or ASCO will have to have a little issue somewhere.
Well, ASCO just... That ferry we were just talking about, it's just made Noakes have to tack and go back over towards Clifton Gardens pretty much. Just on the ASCO here, just as you were sort of talking about them with things that needed to go wrong for them, they ran into a big header there, Steve. So
yeah, well, it's
Mr. York. Another horn for Mr. York.
He's across.
He's across, so that's just all happening there behind us for the viewers at home.
Problem is that's disqualification. He's out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. So just here on the ASCO, who still have 2 more tacks to get into this top mark. One more tack. One more tack.
How many, Jimmy? How many fingers am I holding up?
One. But there's a big right-hand shift over here, Bucko.
Yeah,
you know, east in the east and left in the left.
Yeah,
and
right in the right and
yeah.
left in the left. Exactly, exactly. So anyway, these guys minimum tax to some degree, and I think neither winning group nor ASCO would have expected that there was any threat from Finport. So a little bit conservative perhaps from the winning group.
There's a gauge on TV between ASCO on your left of screen and winning group on your right, and what do you think the distance between them, when distance there is, Bucko? Probably about 100 metres?
It's the thick end of a minute. It's 50 seconds, I would think, or something like that.
Yeah. So we're not far off the top mark, and I think what we'll do is we're going to follow ASCO down to the finish here, Chits.
Yeah.
We're going to pick up the winning group and follow them, and hopefully have the ASCO in the background for you on screen.
Tell you what though, that Fincorp's come up here pretty neatly, haven't they?
Pat, if you just follow ASCO around the mark, and then I'll get you to come back around once they get around the mark and pick up the winning group. So just getting our cameraman Pat, it drives our camera on board.
We should be right. He's got to be above us to lay, mate.
Didn't like the way he was pointing at us.
He got a bit of bow down there, didn't he?
There's ASCO going around the mark, going for the set, and we'll be able to pick up the winning group here in a sec.
No, so it's less than I thought, guys. It's 20 something.
Here's the winning group that we'll follow them down and see what they can do to the ASCO, or whether the ASCO can continue on with it. And Pat's doing a great job there of keeping both boats in frame for us at the moment. Winning group with the bear away. Sammy doing what he's been doing for the last couple of weeks, running on wings.
25 seconds is the delta.
Yeah. So well done to the winning group.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they were at the bottom, actually.
That's what I mean. They've maintained their margin.
Fair comment. Finport's going to round cleanly in third. Big Lee fourth.
How's the gap between Noakes and Bing Lee, Bucko?
The Noakes has given back a bit this beat. You want to cut across, Jimmy, so we get out there?
Yep. The breeze is just a little bit soft here where the winning group is at the moment.
It's a bit to go and find the wind again, isn't it? Now, more wind on the far shore, as we know. So, ASCO, probably Rich will get richer here. He's got a free shot at the Bradley's Head sort of funnel.
It's going to blast off now through the danger zone of the winning group. Yeah, if they don't jive, go chase after the ASCO, and we'll run on home with the ASCO for now. There is the winning group if they jive.
No, we won't be jiving, Jimmy, all the way to the land here, mate.
Yeah.
Some waves here, boys. Just watch yourselves.
Oh.
Going through a couple of waves. Interesting, a big bit of no plenty over here, isn't there? We've just got to, like, the winning group's coming right down to us.
Yep.
Yeah,
a few more waves to get through here, boys. So
bad waves.
Bad angles.
And how
So
about
through
wave?
there. Still on the Asco here, charging hard into the bay.
Looking very comfortable, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Alternative camera might be on the winning group.
Position themselves into the flat water, out of the traffic, for a relatively easy jibe. And here they go, setting up. Let's
Great
go.
jibe.
Textbook. Well done, boys. Take it home.
We'll put that one in the manual. The coaching manual, that is. Oh, and a bit of traffic in the ASCO asking them to get out of the way. Wow.
Just going to get below this yacht to the left of screen. That doesn't help.
So, as usual, Bradley's had a pretty busy place. Boats finished a little finish line for the Sydney Amateurs race, I think.
Winnings is jibed right on our line, in plenty of pressure behind us. We've got that rear view camera. We don't have that rear view camera today, do we?
Power boats are plenty, Jones. Look at this.
Just got to get through a little bit more powerboat wash. You can see the Asco bouncing all over. That's the joys of it. Just as the Sydney Amateurs, I think they got their finish maybe up in Taylor's Bay there.
Dead right, mate. A mixture of gaffers, some great looking craft.
Back to your era, isn't it, Bucko? That's why you like them.
Well, you know, James, one of the great things about the Sydney Amateurs, in a flood tide, you know, their first beat is from Camp Cove down near the Opera House to South Head, and it takes an hour. So you can have a glass of wine on the beat because there's nothing else to do.
Sounds very civilised.
It is.
We've got to get a wine sponsor for on here. What do you think?
Don't see why not.
Beer, definitely beer.
So we're on the Asco, looking very comfortable, I must say. Jimmy Doran sitting up in the saddle, making sure he's got a good view of the wash.
So, James, just talking about crew weight for a second here, with Trent in the middle and Jimmy on the back. They've got two pretty large lads, haven't they?
Look, I'm not going to pick on Dawes as much as I'd like to, but yeah, he says that he's still at similar to weights when I started with him in the 16s.
Yeah, really? Tell him he's dreaming.
I think it's time Helen, his mother, invested a new set of scales for him.
Righto.
But yeah, look, I think the crew combination weight and balance in that boat is pretty good. You know, obviously, you know, a little bit of extra weight at the back of these boats isn't going to hurt you. So you can work the wings, and you know, the wings aren't, you know, they extend in front of the side stays on these boats. So, you know, on light days, you know, they can march all the way forward on them.
Now give us a number, Jimmy. What are they, 250, 255?
Well, there's 290 keg blokes at the back. There's my view.
Yeah.
180.
Doz is sort of saying low 80s is what he tells me.
Yeah,
Okay,
really.
I'm going around to his place to use his scales.
Righto. And Harry's not a big boy, but he's still, you know, high 70s. So.
Yeah.
And you know, Harry brings a fair range of skill to the ship as well.
Yep.
So here they go. Jibing to the finish. Beautiful,
Just got to watch
guys.
the winning group behind us. We'll stay to the leeward of the Asco, and that should give the winning group plenty of options to go for the finish line.
A nice long line, and winning group will be happy with their second, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So first blood to the Asco. Panning around, we've got the winning group just coming through the finish line. I'm just going to get the guns on this and get out of their way. John Winning Jr., Sammy Newton and Ewan McNichol, great job bringing the winning group home for a second. It was interesting talking to Herman. He was saying he doesn't think he sailed with the same crew combination for 3 weeks since he's had the boat. So just got the fin port there, bringing the boat home for third. Third over the line. And then just get Pat to come around to his left. And next boat is going to be the Noakes group. What happened to the Bingley, gentlemen? Did anyone see?
Is that them there?
But never mind. Got the Noakes group powering down to the finish here.
What do you think about the finish line, Bucko? I mean, there's a lot of people leaving money in the bank, I think. I'd be looking at the pin.
It's interesting, isn't it? Early drive to the pin would have been a way better. You know, you get a header as you approach as well, and more wind. So,
yep.
Driving
Jobbing in the middle of the harbour.
From a little bit further out.
Wow. You know what happens, Steve, a bit in your mind, you go, where were those marks? Oh, I remember now, they were just in line with the island, and we think we're going to the gate. No, we're not. We're going to the finish.
Yeah, here comes the Smeg doing just what I said. He's coming in from the left-hand side. So
just get Pat, where are you? Pat, you come around to your left, brother, and pick up the Royal Oak Double Bay, as we're saying. They've been improving each week.
Yeah, nice job, Harry, Courtney and Aaron. Doing a good job.
Smeg off camera, round to our left. Won't pan right around and we'll just stay on these finishes. So you got appliances on line, but Smeg dropped off a powerboat wave and absolutely ate it. It's still upright. They're trying to go uphill at the moment with a spinnaker on the recovery.
I think they had a man overboard.
Yandu, then appliances on line. The kitchen maker, look at them coming roaring in down there on the right of screen. Keep on, try and keep both of them in there, Pat. That's it. And the Rag and Famish.
Kitchen maker 8th then.
So, and we get Pat to pan around. Keep coming around to your left, Pat. Keep coming around, brother. And you'll see R Marine Pitwater. Simon Nern
doing exactly what I said.
Saying,
Good on you, Commodore Simon.
So,
look, he's just taken 4 boats. He's taken 3 or 4 boats.
There you go, there he is.
Nice job.
Just follow him across the line, he'll be next home. He's just picked up 1, 2, 3, what do you reckon? 4 boats in that.
At least 3.
Yeah, at least 3. So, well done. And then, Pat, you come back around to your right. Sorry for everyone at home, you're getting probably dizzy going left and right.
Hazard of being in the middle of a line.
Oh well, trying to capture everyone.
Just looking up the
Burke
course.
Just across the line with Smeg coming across now.
And just looking up the course, Jimmy, the Bingley is there.
Yeah.
Must have had a swim, shall we say?
Yeah, that looks like about 3 minutes, Steve.
Yeah, like a cooling down.
Yeah.
Happened on board
Cooling down.
Bingley, unfortunately.
So, for the viewers, you know, the amount of powerboat wake on this last run has been pretty spectacular. And we just saw Smeg nearly come a complete gutser, but I think they had a sort of a quasi-man overboard type gig, but they managed to recover. But one suspects the Bingley got in the traffic at Bradley's Head and suffered the same problem and have been in the tide, and now will bring up the tail of the fleet. Short course?
I think the problem is, Bucko, is a lot of these timeshare boats, you know, the ones you see in the Float magazine and whatever, I think they've got to be home by 4 o'clock, so they, you know, maximum wake down the harbour. Crosses over with our...
That's not the problem, James. They run out of champagne, always. Haven't you been to Store Beach?
Store is one of the best beaches. El Zotto, Jack, well done. And then we come around to our right, Pat, and you'll pick up the Ilby and Bingley coming in next. That's him. Bingley just holding off the Ilby there.
So our commentator Andrew Buckland diligently doing the maths at the moment with the lead pencil.
The official HB pencil chart, pencil note, you know, old-fashioned.
That's all right.
It's all good. No, I lost my pen, to be honest, but anyway, nobody will die. We've got the numbers down in the correctly, I believe.
Reminds me of a story, Bucko, that that they told us when I was at engineering school, in that the Americans, as part of their space program in the 50s and 60s, developed what is now the ballpoint pen, something they could write in zero gravity. They could write successfully in zero gravity.
Yeah, right.
And still record notes.
Yes.
And the Russians took a pencil.
That's right.
Absolutely reflective of their individual budgets, but
that's right.
You know, who was the smartest?
How much do you think that that NASA spent on developing, you know, the ballpoint pen?
A lot.
You know, I'd hazard a guess at 10 million, say, and then they let the IP go to the French as well.
That's right. Anyway, little story to fill the gap.
So just repositioning ourselves just up beside the start boat here for our final race of the Australian Championships. Oh no, it's Katie, is it? We're still waiting on Katie to come down on
the Lumix.
Panasonic Lumix. Thought it was Woody when I turned around and looked up. I was like, oh no, he was having a good race, but
I think the Spinnaker's courtesy of Woody, Jimmy.
Yeah, so have a little bit of downtime here between races. There's our start boat just on screen. Start finish boat, that is. Not the big grey one on the left of screen. It's one of the Royal Australian Navy's soon-to-be retired fleet.
Oh, it is. It's a frigate or something, is it?
Yeah. So it might be that boat actually, that warship might be on its last tour before it gets decommissioned.
Okay.
Some new shiny gas turbine ones, haven't we, Sue?
We have.
DDGs, indeed. Okay, for the viewers. So after that race now, Australian Championship, one race to go with a drop. ASCO leads on 15, Winning Group second on 17, Kitchenmaker third on 23, Smeg fourth on 25, and Bingley fifth on 31.
Okay. And then, of course, with the drop scenario...
No, that's with the drop.
No, I know, but in terms of...
Oh, who's got what the drop?
Yeah. I mean, strategically, ASCO, you know, will count their next race. They can't afford to do what Coco did, for example, in the first race. Pull the trigger early and be over.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the you know, the winning group will come into play. Yeah. The winning group have got a fairly reasonable drop from memory, haven't they? They've got an 8 as a drop.
An 8.
And the Kitchenmaker have got an 8. So, you know, depending on the outcome of the first 3 minutes of the race.
But Steve, I mean, ASCO was flawless in that race, and I think they're young enough and motivated enough to do that twice in one day, don't you think?
Oh, you'd have to expect they're going to do that, but you never know. There might be someone with devious intent in mind. It's
that would only be the winning group, wouldn't it?
Well, it'd be the winning group, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be.
We might see a bit of knife fighting on the start line, but they don't. I mean, that's not their style of winning group. I don't think they're kind of. I mean, John Winnie Jr. You know, he's a quiet sort of guy, and I think he's a sort of a technical winner rather than a knife fighting winner, if we can use those terms. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But with 2 points being the spread, it's you know, it's still anyone's race.
That's correct.
It's got the ASCO going past us. Boys all, Trent looks like he's having a sleep there in the middle, so very relaxed on board.
Good to see.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? As we mentioned in the lead-up, Trent Barnabas, 21 and a half seasons in an 18-footer and a couple of seasons in a 16, and been mighty good for all of them.
Yeah. Here comes the Lumix with Katie, Lindsay Steed and Joshy Ponton up the bow. So, Josh Ponton from the 16s, he sails a boat up there called Sydney Shade Sails, and we call him the Shady Sailor. He's quite the young character.
And Lindsay Stead just widening his experience list.
Yeah, well, Lindsay's no slouch either. Like, he's been around and involved in it. Good man. And it's great to see him jumping on with Katie and getting a ride. And it's good to see young Joshy Ponton. Like, I remember when he first got a 16, telling us how much he wanted to sail an 18. So it's good to see him finally over here and having a ride and seeing what these are all about.
Where we've done. Talk about that little ferry incident. So you guys know we're on our last warning with Sydney ferries.
So
no, we're not in sequence.
We're not in sequence. Just asking that we're in sequence. I think they're just rejigging the line, sorting himself out.
Yeah, the committee, the last boat has finished. The committee will be getting this underway pretty promptly, and I think he's got hands on the flag, so we're looking at, in less than a minute, we will be under starter's orders. The breeze, as anticipated, just slowly consolidating, Jones. Looking up, we're now 16, yep. So I did expect it to get a little more by the end of this next race. It's local time, a little after 3:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. So this generally freshens in this sort of synoptic situation, generally freshens until 5 o'clock on this sort of day. As we noted, it's not all that hot. It's not as hot as it perhaps normally is. A little bit of haze in the air, high humidity occasioned by the tropical cyclone up the Queensland coast, and pretty elevated water temperatures offshore as well. Water inside the harbour up also to about 23, so those things tending to mitigate against a serious build, but still with the flood tide we would expect indeed nearly 20 by the end of this next race. So in that race, Bingley got on the riding lever, we think. We didn't actually see it happen, but they lost about 3 minutes, which is what happens. And Smeg got all but on the riding lever coming down the last run in some pretty bumpy seaway. So, and just looking here now, the guys doing their little bearaways in the pre-start action here. Yeah, it's uprange.
It seems to have compressed into this corner a bit, Bucko.
Well, it's filled in.
Yeah, but when we're coming down that last run, how there was that big hole in the middle of the track, just unusual spot. There's our 5-minute gun. We might stay on this side for this one. What do you think? Or do you want to go down the pin to see what kung fu happens down there?
There'll be kung fu at the leeward end, Jimmy, because everybody knows they have to start more or less down there, don't they? Regardless of what the committee's done, Steve.
Well, I don't think there's been a change in the breeze direction, as you've been saying. It's just increased in strength. So, look, and they haven't changed the course at all. I think the starter's very happy with the course, and I think we were too. So, I think it's logical to suggest that the action will be at the pin. Was last time.
Let's get down there and we'll position ourselves up for a bit of pin kung fu.
Steve, if you looked at it, just go back to that start, the previous start. The leeward end won. The first guy from the windward end was Finport, and they got out of the 5th or 4th.
Yeah.
That's how much advantage it actually is.
And the race-defining and series-defining moment happened in the last 20 seconds at the pin.
At the pin. Smeg over.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
What's going to be interesting is that Warship's heading out at pretty much the pace that our boys will be.
Yeah, that will be an issue, Jimmy.
Right down the side of it.
Yep.
Well, the yachtsmen, they'll handle it. There's my forecast.
They will, but who's got their heads out of the boat?
Oh, I think the top part of the fleet will handle it, no problem. But, I mean, Steve, the fleet was pretty well behaved in that race. There was a fair bit of, stuff that had to get done properly, and it all got done pretty well, didn't it?
Well, let's give credit to the crews.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, tough day. It gets really funky over there with the combination of the geographical influences and the traffic, and they all managed it very well.
Do you think the Smeg's going to come out blazing? That's the got the angry hat on from the first race of the day.
They can't win, and they've expended their anger. But hopefully they have a better race. But pretty hard for them to win. They can't beat Winning Group as we sit here.
Just trying to give a couple of the...
But I'm with you. They've got nothing to lose. They
Yeah.
should just take it on and send it.
But maybe a bit more calmly.
Maybe.
A bit much adrenaline the first start, eh?
Well, for the viewers at home, it just goes to show the fine margins, really, Bucko.
Look at your boys. Oh. Sorry,
Just
viewers.
right down the other end, just had the kitchen maker
No.
attack to swim, unfortunately. So
Oh.
hopefully they
So
can
2
get that
minutes.
up. How long, 2 minutes?
They've got
Yeah.
2 minutes, so that's plenty of time. They're getting hot anyway.
Not the ideal start.
Steak is, mate.
You'll be right.
Just got steak on the JBW right beside us. So the JBW is the Ilby sponsors boat for the day. Good mate Steak driving it. And he's providing us a bit of a buffer from the left.
We'll look at this wind here now, Steve. Just kicked up another notch right where we are.
We're shooting down the line.
Yeah, we're shooting down the line. We're all over this. We're here for a race.
We've got a minute and a half to go.
So there's a look almost down the line. I'm just sitting a little behind the line at this stage just to give myself a little bit of room to jog up on.
Just in case, mate, eh?
Justin, make sure we're behind the line.
And interestingly, boys, the fleet seem to have set up at the boat end.
Yeah, well,
Well, they got 1 minute. They could all get to the pin from where they are. So
and the kitchen maker, Darren, are back upright and
Dusting themselves off.
Yeah.
Going, oh my goodness, what do we do?
and no surprises, guys. The ASCO and the Winning Group both prominent with the Bing Lee at the leeward end, the three most left-handed boats. Just coming to 35 seconds.
So
Smeg.
there's almost straight down the line for the viewers at home.
Smeg in the midline to some degree. 25 seconds. And the breeze a little lighter at the line itself, but quite directly after 100 yards of sailing, they're into some pretty solid north-northeast pressure.
10 seconds.
And as we noted in the pre-start, the Destroyer coming out
Ooh,
slowly.
ASCO going early.
4, 3, 2,
ASCO was
1.
over, I think.
ASCO over. Did they get away with it?
Clear flags on the start boat, boys, by the looks of it.
Officially not over.
Well done, ASCO. Maybe our timing was out a little bit. Theirs wasn't.
The delay of the sound from the length of the line, what do you think? Put it down to that, how's that, Steve?
Yeah. It's got to be it.
Just wait.
It was a great start.
Nonetheless, and yeah, I know the boys have been playing around with one of those Velocitech machines that gives them time to line. The one who's put the pedal down and going for it is the Bing Lee. They're just to the left of the screen.
He's the first man to have to make an awkward decision about the cruiser.
The 06.
It's a very old Destroyer, I think, that might destroy everybody. The Binger will just tack. They'll be right. Here they go.
Sorry, Bucko, you're going to get a little wet on that side of the boat for the moment.
Not the best. I've been wet before, mate. If wet was bad for you, I'd be dead.
Bit of a nail.
Oh, the Bing Lee.
Big pull away.
Massive ducks.
Wow. That's serious, isn't it? They did that very well, though.
Bit of yelling going on there. I'm not sure why, but
Vintech going. This
oh
naval
goodness.
ship couldn't
We won
come out
this.
at the worst time. It's
Who's this taking on the naval ship?
it is
ASCO.
ASCO and Finport.
Oh goodness.
The mighty
And the
HMAS Newcastle.
The
Over
Smeg.
to our left.
Yeah, they're on. I think they're on deployment. There was a big party going on down at Garden Island where they were anchored before.
Yep.
I'm not sure this is in the naval manual, Steve, is it?
And Birkenhead Point Marina has capsized virtually right in front of the Navy ship. So, but they're just off. They should be okay where they are. The Navy ship is only just making headway.
He's crawling along at about 4 knots.
So we're going to go and cross this naval ship and catch up with our lead pack. So Del Zotto with a bang tack from the R Marine. I think Del Zotto might have right away there, but...
Which hand were they on, James? Help us with that one.
I think the Del Zotto is letting them know which hand they're supposed to be on and not on.
Wow, what a rack.
So back to the race, who's winning?
Well, throw it all up in the air and start again.
Woody.
Yandu.
Yandu, the master of the heavy air.
Stayed out of trouble, started in the midline, tacked under Bradley's. I think Yandu, the rag,
That's not pretty.
That is ugly.
Oh.
I think the boys from Rag and Family should be owing the vet and the boys on quality marine clothing a beer.
I think the Finport leads, Steve, to answer the question.
Got a little issue there.
I think our leader, after all that wash-up, is the Finport with Smeg in second, or Appliances Online in second, Smeg in third. And I'll tell you who's having another good race is Nags, Sean Lingman, just to the right of screen there. Just wait for, I'm just going to sort of slow down a little, get Pat to try and keep everyone there in shot.
Wow, penalty turns.
The Rag and Famish is executing penalty turns
And good
off screen.
Good on them. It's all good. Winning group in touch, but behind Smeg and Finport. And
Well, interestingly, I noted
and
the winning
Appliances.
group crossed ASCO. So ASCO with that great start didn't
They didn't capitalise, did they?
No, didn't
No, they
capitalise.
got tangled up after they went in front of the destroyer.
Okay.
So let's get back in the middle of it all now. We've had our HMAS Newcastle experience. Here goes our Marine Pitwater, Simon Nern, winning group, John Winning Jr. crossing us in probably fourth or fifth, I think the winning group is currently. Be a close cross with them off screen with the Nags group. Then you got Royal Oak Hotel. There's a lot of kung fu going on in this race, like people forgot their, not P's and Q's, but their ports and starboards.
Correct. When the wind's coming over the port side of the boat, you don't have many rights. That one.
That one.
Yeah.
Maybe the break between races was a little too long for them. So got the Finport just tacking below Appliances Online, and I think we're going to follow these guys and see what happens here at the cross. But interestingly, off to the right of screen, the ASCO is pushing hard over to that right, where it didn't really work in the first race for the guys that went that way. Bucko.
No, and I was just thinking, you know, the tide now is stronger than it was before. The left will pay a little more than it did last time, and it paid enough last time to be worth a couple of extra tacks.
Yeah. So I think that's first and second there on screen.
Yeah,
which is
Appliances
Online to the right. Finport to the left. Nags just cutting in front of us. Bing Lee just about to cut in front of us. And then we'll get moving. There's the Bing Lee. Miko, Dan and Pete.
He's looking to attack. He's just waiting for clear air. He's going to duck the nugs now, and he's now got to go past the Smeg, but he knows he has to get left.
Not a great tack from Nags off screen. There's our 1-2, and I believe winning group to be probably third, who are just going to come in from the left of screen. There they are. So I dare say currently advantage winning group in the overalls. What do you boys think?
Yeah, he's well in front of ASCO, but ASCO's in touch, but probably 20 seconds, I think, or roughly 20 seconds. We'll find out in a minute.
ASCO, you know, I got to say, they banged that right-hand corner very hard, Bucko. You'd have to question why they would have done that in the context of the series. I mean, they should know that the winning group are a point or two adrift of them. They've chosen to take a bit of a risk there, Jimmy, and head to the other side.
It's not up to them to take the risk there.
Yeah,
they've got to protect it. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
after the first race day, it was advantage ASCO. The priority is find whoever's in second and sit
follow
on.
them around. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like,
I hope it works out for them, but really they've taken the high risk option there.
very high risk.
That is correct. We're travelling with
The Finport
with
is
the mighty-
currently on screen.
the mighty Finport here.
There's going to be a close cross, and we'll follow them back. Going to be a close cross. This is for the lead of this race for the viewers at home. They're coming back at Appliances Online, who have
Chosen to tack.
chosen
Interesting.
attack below them.
Didn't want to get to the left.
Wow, and look at the left-hander here. They needed to actually go further, these guys, in my view. But anyway, Finport thought they were running out of wind, I think.
Well, they've now positioned themselves that Smeg, who are doing a great job, you know, maybe they're in a tight port starboard with them. Unless you think they're across. Nah, they're across.
I think, Appliances Online's come to.
Well, maybe no, they're not.
Appliances is going to have to duck the Smeg.
Yeah.
The Smeg,
Yeah.
the Smeg's in second. It's quite a big duck too.
It's a big duck.
But still, the Appliances boys will be happy to be in the podium at least, yeah?
Yeah, look, sailing well, and they're quite fast with their big rig. I mean, their little rig, sorry, they're, doing a nice job.
Talking to Brett before the start, he did say he wanted 18 knots of wind. Well, he's pretty much got it if he stays on the left edge. Smeg trying to get a power boat out of the way.
That way, or that way.
Smeg's.
Oh, what's happened here? The Appliances doing a penalty turn.
Yeah, the Appliance is doing a penalty turn. I heard Michael Coxon on board the Smeg yelling and screaming at Brett. He must have touched during that little duck that they did of the Smeg. So, yeah, enough to upset Michael Coxon enough that he's requested politely that Brett does a penalty turn, and Brett's politely done that. So here's the ASCO on the left of screen. We'll just follow them, who's in touch here with Finport.
At a guess, I would say that the ASCO's in second here, Steve.
Yeah, that right-hand side had the high-risk rights worked out for them, as it's worked out for John Winning.
Well, let's have
He's
a look,
even
'cause
further
we'll
right.
Stay on the ASCO here. You got the Winning group, the Smeg and Noakes all coming back from the left of screen. We've got another naval ship on its way out as well, boys. It's going to be an interesting afternoon.
They travel very politely, those naval chaps, though, don't they? It's fabulous.
So,
Yeah, they did do a nice job there, didn't they? They slowed down, let the fleet cross. So
the ASCO has crossed. Where are we on the screen, please? Yep, the ASCO has crossed the Winning group and has done what I was talking about should have been done, and that is sit hard on top of the Winning group.
Yep.
So, and then in the background there you got Yandu, John Winning, and Finport.
Well, Yandu stayed out of the rabble at Bradley's Head the first time, and everybody else was in the rabble, weren't they? So, anyway, Finport leads for the championship. ASCO leads Winning group with Yandu in second place on the track. And to some degree, Appliances having to do a penalty turn has let the race sort of back to Winning group and ASCO to some degree.
Just going to get Brett to come around to Pat to come around to his
Don't worry about
right a little, and you've got Smeg just turning for home. So obviously
they've had a breakage or something's gone wrong.
obviously that incident with Appliance Online is terminal, and they can't go on with the race.
Yep. So back to the race. Finport, Yandu, ASCO. Yandu going well here. They seem to have gained a little bit on the ASCO, Bucko.
Wow.
A little bit of a right-hand shift in the breeze.
Yeah, it's a right-hand bender over here, for sure. But
So Cam McDonald's second round of pies at lunch on the sheet, they're kicking in and on the Yandu, and he's going all right. So just going to, not far off the top mark, I'm just going to go up there and position ourselves so we can get a look down the track.
And for the viewers, the breeze is up here. I reckon it's another couple of knots at the top mark.
Yeah,
we're into the 20s now, Bucko.
Not 20, but certainly
19 and a half.
No.
19 and 3/4.
It's fresher. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Fresher than orange juice. There you go.
So the pin port on a nice lay, a bit tight, but okay, I think.
I don't think any other boat in the fleet would make it from that lay other than the fin port.
No, they got the
Yandu's right up in there.
Yandu's got themselves another 30 metres. The pin port there easily, Steve.
Yeah, that little left shift helping them all get up to the mark, I think.
Right shift, perhaps.
Right shift, sorry. Yeah, thanks,
We're going to have to go through this. Which hand am I holding up, then? Come on. This is the right one. This is the starboard tack, the right hand.
All good.
So just in the, here we got Finport leading final race here, the Australian Championships.
Charlie Gunda, Matt Stanter and Keegan York doing a nice job up the first work.
Perfect barrelway.
Yeah.
Perfect barrelway.
Yandu, John Winning, Cam McDonald, Mike Kennedy, the Burger up the bow.
So Cam back in the middle, the old firm back together to some degree.
I think Rollo's away. So third is Asco. So just going to stay in front of that boat that's coming around the mark behind him, the winning group.
You'd have to say just keep it clean from here, wouldn't you?
We'd hope so, but yeah, stranger things to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we saw there's enough
fair
wind
bit of-
and enough water bump that there's potential for trouble down the run.
Bing Lee around next. Ascot, Appliances Online, Noakes Group, Royal Oak and Armarine Pitwood all rounding together.
Bingley having a little spinnaker issue there.
Armarine Pitwater just taking a little bit more space to
Simon.
Simon steering from up in the bow position, just climbing back on the wing.
Nice recovery.
Good recovery.
Nice
And
work.
in the background of our shot, we've got one of the new LHDs coming out, as well as a supply boat. Just got Pat coming around to his right. This could get very interesting with these Navy ships coming out, Steve. You got
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the top, standing at the top now, looking towards the bottom, Bucko, thinking where these guys might go, I'm heading left. I'm going to go down the eastern shore.
Yeah.
I want to avoid that whole melee.
There's a different answer for the leaders versus the rest.
Yeah.
The two leaders can clearly get, and probably the third and fourth boats can clearly get escape on the city side of the course, the western side of the course.
Do you want to go below them both, though?
Yeah, they're okay, I think.
They're all right.
I think there'd be a fair hole below them, wouldn't they?
No, they're motoring dead upwind, more or less. It's okay. And they're going to have enough lateral separation to be all right. Anyway, the fleet's all made up. It's mine, Steve. They're all starboard jibe all the way to the bricks, more or less, except for Woody, who's jibed a little earlier. But
Very unusual for our Navy to be going out on a Sunday afternoon.
Clearly there's something happening.
Yeah, we're having a beautiful sunny Sydney Harbour. They've come out to watch the 18s.
Sure, that's it.
So Woody's decided for an early jibe, and he's gunning for.
He should hit that about midships, I'm thinking.
Well, I think if they open up both the side doors, he can go straight through it. So just here on screen, we've got Bimport, our leader, Deb jibe. We've got Asco there to the right of screen with the winning group just right behind him. It's going to be a great battle to the end. And we're on a two-lapper like the previous race, guys. So this is, it's going to be an absolute great race to watch. We've got our supply ship behind us, honking the 18 fleet.
bit of synchronised jibing, winning group and Asco. Really up in front of us here.
We're just on the fin port. Get Patners come around to his right and have a look at the quick gauge distance here between Asco and the winning group.
And the Asco pressed hard to get up around the Cardinal market on the headland.
Just sit down, Chits, and let me know. We're right behind us, please.
Finport
We're right behind us.
Finport jibing.
Okay, and Doro going inside that reef marker. Wow.
Yeah, that's high risk.
That is extremely high risk. That is something you do not need to be doing when you're commanding the position here.
With the tide at LOW.
He pulled it off.
Wow.
More or less.
Pulled it off.
You must have gone to church this morning, that's all I can say.
How you feeling, Coach?
Yeah, I know Julian Bethwaite's been working hard with them. Coco's been working hard with them as well. Yeah, they're asking all the right questions. They're putting the team together.
And he's driving back in as well to stay in the breeze.
Oh, there's a big hole behind that ship. You know, like it is a monster.
Just going to see what the winning group does there, and they're sort of locked out here with a. So just off camera behind us, we've just been told that Appliance Online and Bing Lee have had a coming together. We hope everyone's all right. Hopefully get one of the rescue craft over to them shortly. We'll stay with this.
Start. Camera cat, you read over on 7-3.
So we've got Finport blasting away down to the bottom turn gates.
Start. Camera cat, 7-3, you read over.
Just the right of screen there, you got Finport dropping that speaker. Looks like Finport's going to the left-hand mark here, Bucko.
Double bay. Appliances online and had got had an incident on Bradley's head and may require assistance. I'm going to raise one of the rescue boats on the start boat. Inform them.
Finport very conservative actually, James.
Yeah, Finport conservative. Asco relatively conservative there as well.
Double bay boat, just went right past.
Just we get Pat to come round to his left. On screen you got John Winning Jr. versus John Winning Senior coming in.
Asco pretty conservative as well.
Yep. So Asco round in second, Finport leading, Asco second. Winning Appliances are going to be around third, Yandu around fourth, Noakes Group around. Well, if Noakes keep the spinnaker on, guys, they're going to come around in front of Woody, but there's only so much time that some people need.
He's got to go to the drop. About 20 seconds between each of the first three, so Finport leads Asco by 20, Asco leads Winning Group by a bit less, perhaps 15 seconds, but Asco in control at this point.
Good close race, boys.
A good yacht race.
Considering we had three of our government assets come through the course, I think the racing is quite really compressed.
Yeah, there were a few
been cut up a lot further.
a few casualties there, but it has actually compressed them. Jimmy, you're right.
Yeah.
And,
Okay, and we'll go around the head off, and just there you got the kitchen maker dropping their spinning, and they look like they're going to follow Simon Noon over to the right-hand mark at this stage.
How would we say, Steve, just enough wind and bump to make capsizing an option?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, Jimmy called them assets. Well, they're significant assets, aren't they? You know, and there was a lot of wind disturbance in behind them, so those that made it through navigated it well, but it wasn't easy, that's for sure.
On the Royal Oak Hotel and the Bing Lee on screen.
So nobody tacking off, everybody in a big squeezing match to Bradley's head, and that includes the key battle, Winning Group versus Asco. Asco's won the squeezing fight and is now pretty much directly upwind of Winning Group. Finport off in the distance, commanding lead, really. But I think we'll actually see some covering, Steve, this beat, eh?
Oh, I think you're probably right. I mean, it's up to the winning group now, isn't it, to throw it at them and try and force a mistake?
Yeah, but as we said, as John Winnie Jr. had noted, hasn't had the same combination in the boat any time this year, so maybe he's just...
It's not like he's got slouches in the boat.
Oh,
okay, he's got...
no.
Look, they've looked solid all day. I think they can afford to take a few risks to win the championship.
Ewan and Sam are no slouches to any sort of attacking duel or anything like that, and I think they'll be able to perform their duties quite well. I don't think the Asco's got any great advantage over them. When you think about it, Trent's only really been in the boat with them a week.
Several weeks, but
I'm of the view they've got to try something. I mean, if they're happy with second, fine, that's great. Second's fantastic. But if they want to win the regatta, you know, Doro's got the bigger drop, I'd be throwing it at him.
Yeah, I'm with you, Steve.
The intelligent men, I'm sure they did their homework before they came out.
John Winning actually took a photo of the spreadsheet that I prepared for the day, so that's good enough.
Yeah.
Is that homework done?
Homework done, exactly.
By someone else?
By someone else. That's the... Oh, look at this.
So we've got the Bing Lake and the 4 Pines here.
Royal Oak being very generous there, I believe.
Yeah, nice work, Aaron, pulling behind them.
Great. That's what we like to see, a bit of seamanship.
Well, and Aaron putting himself in danger here, though, Steve, I'd say. Right to the edge of the very spiky bit.
The Royal Oak just sailed, over into a little
Difficult.
bit of funky air.
Yeah.
So we're on the Bing Lee.
Bing Lee, and to the left of screen is Yandu.
So getting back to the yacht race, we've got Finport, Asco winning group, closely followed by Yandu, Noakes and Bing Lee.
So just there in the background near the what we refer to as the KFC marker, which is Bradley's head clearance marker, is the winning group there in the background. Just to the left of us, just off screen, to the left is the Asco, still slightly to our left.
And some fans on a charter boat, Jimmy.
Little Wahine tour of Sydney Harbour. There's the Asco, and off in the distance there's the Finport just above to the left of the Asco. But I can just having a bit of a look over to Bradley's Head, where we've seen the appliance online have a little bit of a issue. I can see three people. So the boys all appear to be okay. Just hope the boat's okay. They were having a great day before that.
They were sailing well. Very unfortunate.
Nick Daly sounded like just having a little chat with the boys on Royal Oak.
I don't know why. He was windward boat.
It's Nick Daly going. But back to this race. Let's finish this race off. So
Yeah, look, I think Asco's got legs on the winning group here. I think they're, in a higher mode. Every metre they go upwind, they're going another half a metre forward. So
short of centreboard after going through the bombing off Bradley's.
they may have, but they're
high risk.
Yeah.
So there's John Winning Senior on the Yandu, Cam McDonald Berger on the left of screen. Finport is just shot away. Not taking anything away from Keegan, Matty and Charlie on the Finport. I think they're sailing a brilliant race. But
they are. But this is the race for the series, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah.
So we'll stick with the Asco and the winning and see what comes of it.
Sorry, Keeg. Sorry, Jody. I know Jody's at home watching, but we've got to stick with the big fight. Sticking with the overall war, not the actual fight on the hill. So the winning group is coming back at us, just in a bit of a tight spot. I've got Yandu coming up to the right-hand side of me. If I can get around the back of winning group, I'll be a happy man. I think we will. There we go. And there's the fight for the Australian title. That's the distance there. What distance do you think we got there, Bucko? Time.
Well, it wasn't a very good estimate last time. 30 seconds, I'd say. Okay.
So the winning group's not going to take it lying down. They're well and truly into it. We'll just get up to
Yeah. You know, the short course format though, it's tough on the trailing boat. There's no easy lane. The Asco looks like they've got enough speed to just lose cover. And
that's all they've got to do, right, Bucko?
right now, that's all they've got to do, exactly.
Yeah.
So try and get both these guys in picture. We're just coming up to weather of the Asco. There you go, and that's the overall fight on our hands for the Australian title. Finport's just to the left of screen there, way off in the distance, way over in Taylor's Bay. You got going to sort of sit back a little bit in case Asco decides to attack, but I think it's pretty safe to say they're just going to go wherever winning group goes, right, Steve?
It's
that's what
unlikely.
you're supposed to do now.
It's unlikely they'll tack before the headland or before winning group tack first, but you know, I mean, winning group are not that far off the lay, so you know their options are fairly limited now. They've got to hope that Asco makes the blue at the either on the last tack or on the yeah.
The Asco's Harry's just whistling to a yacht to ask him to spin around and give him a clear lane while the yacht was motoring home.
Which they did. They obliged. It's very nice of them.
Very nice of them. Yeah, I think being on the winning group, they should have tried to throw a few more tacks and play the right a little bit and try and drag the Asco away from where they wanted to be. You know, not enough boats there to sail them back through the track, but you know, at least try and force them into an error.
Yeah, that would have been my strategy, I think. But you know, maybe given the comments, Andrew's comments before about them having new crew and not being entirely comfortable, perhaps they're very happy just to get around, and you know, second's a fabulous result and build on it from there.
A few spectator boats, please.
So the winning group tack, and we'd expect Asco, Jimmy, will follow suit fairly soon. They'll get up on their line and tack.
Yeah, well, that's what they got to do, right? You've just got to get the weather of them, get between them and the mark. They're tacking virtually right on them. I think they're saying that they're on the lay line, jump down, jump through, get in behind the winning group. And Finport is probably a minute in front, Bucko, would you say?
Yeah, well, definitely the thick end of a minute.
Yep.
So they've gone. They're
so, you know, nothing against Keegan, Matty or Charlie. They've sailed a brilliant race, and you know, they're very deserving to go, hopefully to go on with it. We've got a Manly Ferry going to come into the mix as well.
I think he's not beeping one of ours. He's beeping that yacht.
He's moving the
got out of the road of Asco.
He's removing the keel boat. Which a little bit adrift in the middle of the course.
We will note that for the record, Bucko.
Yeah.
Hopefully the good ship Coleroy will go in behind it, which I think it will. It's not going to get him part of the race. So thank you to the skipper of the Coleroy if he sits back and watches this.
So Steve, just looking at the trim here of the two boats, the Asco had a little more twist than the winning group. Winning group sailed with a lot of vang on and just a little bit too shut down in my view.
A little bit. Well, you've got to look at what Asco's done with them, done to them, Bucko. You know, they've got speed and height. I think they're probably, this isn't a true indication of Asco's trim, I think they're probably cracked off. They've acknowledged the fact that they're...
Can we have a look at the winning group?
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, have a look.
I think they've cracked off though. They're above the ley line there.
No, he's still hard on. His jib's still hard in. That's the head of the main fully inverted, yeah? Yep. It's a special picture that we require here. We're very special needs, you know.
More twist, more traveller, Bucko.
Yeah, something
Still
like that.
Nightmares about that.
Jimmy's had the misfortune of going keelboat sailing with me. But a bit less twist and a little bit less tolerant, therefore.
So Finport around the mark, they're going to set their spinnaker just to the left of the screen. Second will be the ASCO, third will be Winning Group.
So ASCO now really just needing to safely get round this mark and...
So Steve, you see what we're looking at there, just the Winning Group having to sail with a little bit too much jib twist to match up to the not quite enough main twist, in my view.
Yep.
So I've just got Bing Lee just sort of locking me up, boys, but my plan is I'm going to follow Bing Lee around this mark and follow the ASCO Winning Group in front of them. Yep.
Why don't we follow that?
What I might do, Bing Lee looks like they're going, I might try and stay on the inside of everyone here. Bit of a game plan change.
55-second lead to the Finport, which is a mighty lead in a half-hour race.
ASCO's around, Spinnaker's set, very shaky set.
Little bit of a nervous set there, Jimmy.
Very nervous set.
We wouldn't know anything about that, any of us, would we?
No.
No.
And the Winning Group next in the firing line, Sam Newton.
And plenty of wind here for the Barrowway, Steve.
Yeah, no, it is. It's fresh.
Got to get going or else we're not going to catch the ASCO here. The Winning Group is around. Going for the set, so let's go chase after the ASCO blokes at home. And Winning Group, nice set. Windward set. We'll go chase after the ASCO, I think.
Yeah, and the Bingley just behind them.
Yeah. I like the last one down behind the naval ships where it was nice and flat. We had the mighty Camry cat up to full tilt. The ASCO has opened up a little bit of a lead over the Winning Group.
Well,
Port way off there in the distance on the monitor at home.
Well, they stretched well upwind, didn't they? You know, they definitely had legs upwind, and they used that to their advantage. And
It's not over yet, but the fat lady's warming up, right?
Yeah, that's
still
right.
Got a bit of powerboat weight to get through, so
exactly.
Have I put the kiss of death on them? Hopefully not.
No, they're better than that, but...
The ASCO with a very nervous jibe off screen.
But well completed. Let's call that a conservative jibe.
Very conservative.
Well completed. So they've, you know, really got one more and they're done.
A
So
safety jibe of major proportion.
it was. Well, the Winning Group maybe returning the favour in terms of that speed differential, Bucko. Seem to be closing a little bit for mine. I don't think they're going to get there by the bottom, but they have brought them back a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, the Winning Group a bit untidy at the start of the job. Got out of it.
So what do you think the difference is back to the Winning Group there, boys?
25.
Yeah.
The same as it was at the top, I think. Very roughly.
Just going to ride home here with the ASCO.
Shotgun.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
God. There's a moron in front of us.
That nearly could have been Australian titles done and dusted there for the ASCO.
Did that guy not even see them?
No.
Anyway, back to Asco.
Yeah, that explains everything. The name on the side of the boat.
Powerboat going down the harbour at 25 knots, not looking.
Riding home at the Asco, hopefully.
Trent and Doro just having a little nervous look back, but I think they could probably feel fairly comfortable now.
They're just talking about the last jibe, I reckon, Steve.
I reckon they're talking about the fact they should jibe and go for the pin, mate.
Yeah, I think you're right, and they could lay they could lay the pin from where they are right now. The Finport
Finport in the background, just behind
Get
the Asco
close.
there. They're crossing for a well-deserved win. Well done, Keegan, Matt and Charlie.
Yeah, nice job.
Really well sailed.
So Asco setting up, Doro just having a look at the pin, going, yeah, we're good. And they're in a bit of smoothish water.
I don't know that the boat's favoured. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing.
Here they go. No, he was looking at the pin, mate, I can tell you.
Yep.
Beautiful jibe.
Jibe is executed.
Not quite perfect. The chute didn't quite come on enough, but
Good enough.
good enough. And they're going to the header with pressure, so the Finport, bloody hell, they went away down the run there, guys.
They did.
Didn't get the clock accurately.
Just if we get Pat just to come around to his right just a little. Probably too far too late. Just stay on the Asco here, buddy. There's a mighty Asco coming in. Asco with a 1-2 for the day. Tidy scorecard. That there
Boom. Congratulations, Asco.
is the Australian title.
Did we hear a hooter?
No.
Yeah, I didn't hear a hooter either.
We've just got the winning group coming in. Just keep coming around, Pat. Keep coming around here. Keep coming around. There we are, the winning group coming in.
Well done to the Asco, not without risk though, Steve.
No, especially that start. Gee whiz. I mean, they...
The start,
Woo.
the depth gauge over at
The depth gauge over the reef was the
Yeah.
exciting bit for me.
It was.
So 40 seconds for the record, Steve.
Yeah, and well done to the winning group.
Well done to the winning group.
Herman winning. Ewan McNichol and Sammy Newton.
fourth was
No.
Big Lee.
Hello. Recall on the Asco.
Yeah, I thought they were over, but I didn't see a flag, I must say.
No, well, it's a blue flag, Steve, so that's
Yeah.
why we didn't...
Blue flag.
Sorry,
So-
viewers. The Asco is not the winner, it seems.
Potentially not the winner.
Potentially not the winner, at least.
Just trying to radio in and confirm.
Yandu's our next boat, crossing the line. Royal Oak, and then the Kitchen Maker coming up behind, which is great.
Yeah, they recovered a bit. They had a very ordinary start, as you saw, and anyway, got back into it. So have we lost the Binglee again? Oh no, they're through. So what are the places, Bucko? Pending.
Well, I'm just going to pin this because that changes a lot of things, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, can you confirm Asco as the winner?
The rag coming through the finish line now. And next down we've got the Vintec. I don't think he's got his radio on.
He does.
And who have we got to follow behind the Vintec? We've got the Del Zotto up on the course that I can see, and that might be about it, Bucko.
There was no second, Your Majesty. That's a Del Zotto.
Ilvey.
And Ilvey, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. The two black shirts, yeah, you do.
So we have a recap. So just for the viewers at home, there may be some potential controversy about the win. We're hoping that the Ascos won the race, but there's also the chance they may have been over at the start. So Jimmy Bury's just confirming with the starter that they did actually finish second in the last race, which would give them the championship.
Okay, just had confirmation on the radio from Rippleside, our start boat, that it was a clear start in the second race. So going off Mr. Buckland's points, that makes Asco the Australian champion, the New South Wales champion. One more to go, do you think?
Well, let's hope so. Well done, Asco. Great. I mean, they nailed that start. They must have been split second perfect. So,
yeah.
And to do that twice, I mean, they nailed both starts, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that won them the day. So congratulations to the Red Boat. We know the sponsor will be very happy, and they really perform well under pressure.
Yeah, no, they're very proud of the boys. I think they've done a good job.
So sorry, Trips, where did the Bing Lee finish?
Bingley was
Four or five.
You've got the HB over there, Bucko.
And the Kitchen Maker
Just
was...
on Del Zotto coming to the finish here.
Seven?
Well,
Seventh or eighth?
Bucko and Steve work out the overalls for you. Del Zotto with Jack Sparrow coming in.
Well, one and two will definitely be Asco and winning. It's just whether the Kitchen Maker or the Bing Lee will be third.
Today's sponsor, is it Ilvey?
Ilvey.
Out on the, here comes the mighty truck home.
Okay, so Troops, summary after two pretty handy races on Sydney Harbour. Tough course, that one, for 1.4 mile beat. I mean, you very much have to get a good start, otherwise your day is going to be a bit ordinary. Finport won the last race from Asco, third winning group. But the overall results, first in the Australian Championship, 17 points, Asco. Second winning group on 20. Third Kitchen Maker, 23.
Oh,
well
there you go.
Kitchen Maker.
Well done to the Kitchen
So
Maker.
that's how they started before the day began in any event. And the boats that couldn't string together two good results today, Bing Lee had, we think, a swim we didn't see in the first of the two races, and the Smeg, a DNF, we think, after a collision with another boat in the next race. So the challenge of the Smeg did not eventuate. They were recalled on the first start. Unfortunate, but they were pressing pretty hard and very tough on just a two-lapper to get back to the lead. So that ends the Australian Championship. Steve, any thoughts that would surprise you from the day?
Well, let's start with the top five, really. You know, look, I think the Smeg had a forgettable day. They made two, possibly three critical errors. They'll be disappointed with that. You know, they're capable of much better. I think, you know, looking forward to the JJ in a couple of weeks, they've got good all-round speed. I think that, you know, they need to go home, lick their wounds, fix whatever's broken and get back out there. I expect them to be a major contender. Fourth, the Bing Lee obviously had a couple of issues again today.
So they've become a little bit fragile, it seems to me, yeah?
Well, I think that's probably a little harsher than I would have been. I think that, I don't know, they had one little slip up. I was impressed by their speed and handling today. I thought they looked quite comfortable in the boat. I really think they're going to be a contender.
Yeah, no doubt at all.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The Kitchen Maker clearly a bit of work to do in their up-range speed, but, 7th and a 6th or something
and they
today.
didn't get off the line well today, did they?
Look,
and they've been pretty good on average, haven't they?
They've been starting well, but they did not get off the line today. They had that swim with 2 minutes to go, and that's unsettling. They were third row at the start at the wrong end, and they recovered pretty well. And look, I think they should be very happy with third.
I think overall they should, considering they did have some little slips here and there, yeah?
Absolutely. And again, they're a young team and they're building, and that'll stand them in good stead.
Jimmy, the youth on the Finport Challenge today, they didn't have a great first race. They struggled a little bit, but plenty of upwind speed, and they won the second race pretty convincingly.
Yeah. Guys on the Finport, I think coming into the JJs, they're going to be a serious contender. Obviously, they missed a few races at the start of the Australian series when Keegan took the team on a
skiing holiday.
A junket.
A junket.
But no, he didn't take him on a retreat. But it's good to see they got their form back in that boat and they're doing quite well. I honestly think they're going to be a serious contender for the JJs and potentially, they're going to be one of our top 4 Aussie boats that I can see. We've got the unknown Kiwi factor coming. I think well done to the top 3 overall boats. I think they did an exceptional job.
Yeah, and great to see the Finport back, with their top lineup and in pretty good form, it seemed to me.
Yeah.
Because, they bring, they sort of round out the top 6 boats, in a pretty sort of threatening way, if I can use those terms.
Well, I think, it's us against the Kiwis, let's face it. So, let's say we've got 6, we've got a solid 6, with Brady Van Munster and the Oaks, 4 Pines.
And the Kiwis have got at least 3 A-grade, who we rather suspicious might be in a bit better nick than some of our boys. Anyway, all to play for, all to come. That's it from the Cameron Cat for today. Thanks to Pat and Christoph today, guest on the back of the bus. Michael Chittenden for keeping us sane, and we might go and enjoy our 4 Pines. James, thanks for your company and your good skill driving. And Steve, great show. We'll see you all and hope to see all you viewers next week.